Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Here we are, the last game before Selection Sunday today, when the field of 68 for the NCAA March Madness tournament gets announced. But here we are, one of the biggest rivalries in all college basketball, going at it at the Big Ten tournament title game for this one. The number 1 seeded Michigan State Spartans taking on the number 3 seeded Michigan Wolverines for this big-time hyped-up matchup between both of these teams. The tip-off in about 10 minutes from now here, as I'm getting you guys covered in for this matchup. I do play-by-play and live reactions of college basketball videos, so if you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. So here we are, Selection Sunday, around 2.5 hours away from now, as we got a big matchup between Michigan and Michigan State. We'll look to a couple of the other games that went down today in college basketball that crowned their conference champions. Yale beat Harvard today in the Ivy League 97-85. What finished about a half an hour ago was the SEC title game, and out of nowhere, Auburn forced Tennessee into something like 17 turnovers in the game, and Auburn won 84-64. Hey, what's up? Thanks for coming back on the channel. Big hyped game here with Michigan against Michigan State for this Big Ten tournament title. St. Bonaventure against St. Louis, that game in the A10 tournament final, that just wrapped up. St. Louis with a 2-point victory against the Bonnies as that game went down to the final seconds as the Bonnies missed out on their last chance opportunity at the final shot, around like 10 seconds remaining. St. Louis with a big rebound, sending the Billikens to the tournament. And Cincinnati against Houston, that game's going on right now in the American Conference tournament. That just tipped off a few minutes ago, around 16 minutes left before halftime. The Bearcats with a 10-5 lead over the Cougars. But here we are, Michigan against Michigan State, comparing both of these teams, point guard to point guard. Both of the point guards rank first and second in the conference for assists per game. Those are the two players to watch out for in today's game. Cassius Winston, he has double-digit points in 31 games this season out of 33 that he's played for the Spartans, as he ranks third in college basketball in assists per game, first in the Big Ten as well in assists per game, as he averages just below 8 assists per game and also averages about 19 points per game, which ranks fourth right now in the Big Ten. So he's the key player to look out for the Spartans today. Also his teammates to look out for as well in there. Kenny Goins has 5 double-doubles this season for Michigan State. He's also fourth in the conference of rebounds per game, averaging about 9 rebounds per game. Also in there, Xavier Tillman, as the last game against Michigan, he had 5 blocks against the Wolverines, as Michigan State crushed Michigan at home 75-63 back, or 75-63 back on March 9th. They also out-rebounded Michigan in that one, 46-20, as Kenny Goins had 16 rebounds in that matchup. Cassius Winston had 23 points and 7 assists in that game. So yeah, huge matchup between both of these teams. How they got here? Well, Michigan State, they beat the number 8 seed Ohio State 71-70 on the game on Friday, as Michigan State shot the ball at 52% from the field. Cassius Winston had 18 points in the W for Michigan State. And then they played Wisconsin yesterday, the number 4 seed. They beat them 67-55. They out-rebounded the Badgers 44-30, as Winston once again had 21 points and 6 assists. How the Michigan Wolverines got there? Well, a little bit easier of a schedule to get there. They beat the number 6 seed, the Iowa Hawkeyes, 74-53. Iggy Brazdeikis led the scoring with 15 points. John Teskey with 12 points, 10 rebounds. But the game yesterday, Minnesota snuck in as they beat Purdue in their first round game on Friday. And then they snuck in on Saturday, played against the Michigan Wolverines. So Michigan took on number 7 seed in Minnesota yesterday. They crushed Minnesota once again, 76-49. Michigan shot the ball 52% from the field. Isaiah Livers delivered off the bench with 21 points in that game. Only 7 turnovers in the past 2 games has been committed by the Michigan Wolverines. So we look to those key players in the lineup for Michigan today. Xavier Simpson, right behind Cassius Winston in assists per game in the Big Ten Conference. He averages just above 6 assists per game. He also ranks 5th in the conference in steals per game, as he averages just below 2 steals per game. And also another key player to look out for, Iggy Brasdakis for the Michigan Wolverines. He has 28 games this season with double-digit points, leads the team in scoring with 15 points per game. Don't forget about John Teskey. He has 7 double-doubles right now for Michigan, as he's the 7'1" junior center from Medina, Ohio. He averages just below 7 rebounds per game for the Wolverines. He's also first in the conference in the Big Ten for blocks per game. So this is a big hyped-up matchup between both of these teams, Michigan against Michigan State. About 6 to 7 minutes away here from tip-off between these two teams. If Michigan State wins this game and become Big Ten title champions, they have the opportunity to be a number 1 seed in the NCAA March Madness tournament if they do so, if the selection committee gives them that number 1 seed. We'll see if they're able to jump Gonzaga later today when the Selection Sunday comes out. But Michigan State has way more Quadrant 1 wins than Gonzaga, who's still projected to be on a number 1 line. Against Quadrant 1 top 50 teams in the nation, Michigan State has a record of 13-3 overall against teams in the top 50. They're right now at the 2 seed line that ESPN bracketology projects them at. But they project Gonzaga at the number 1 seed line when they have a record of 4-3 against teams in the top 50. And Gonzaga plays a pretty easy schedule compared to the Big Ten basketball that Michigan State plays. So here we are. If Michigan State gets this W, they should, in my opinion, hopefully jump over Gonzaga to be on the 1 line, as Tennessee in their loss helped out Michigan State earlier today. Tennessee lost that game by 20 points against Auburn. Auburn was projected to be a number 5 seed in the tournament, but they became SEC champions later today. So how about Michigan State, what they do well throughout the season? There's a couple of things in here that they do really, really well, top 5 in college basketball at. They're first in the conference inside the Big Ten in points per game. They average just above 79 points per game. But what they do, top 5 in the nation, they're second in all college basketball in assists per game. They average just above 19 assists per game, thanks to this guy, Cassius Winston, who's third in all college basketball, averaging just below 8 assists per game. Now we look to Michigan State. They're also third in all college basketball right now in defensive rebounds per game. They grab the boards and they do it big time. They average just above 30 defensive rebounds per game, and they're 13th in shooting percentage in all college basketball, shooting the ball around 49% from the field. Also 5th in college basketball in blocks per game. We flip the script to the Michigan Wolverines for this one, as what they do well this season is totally different from Michigan State, as Michigan right now is 4th in college basketball in fewest fouls per game. They're also 2nd in all college basketball in fewest turnovers this season, right behind the Virginia Cavaliers. And they play with a really, really good defense, as they're 3rd right now in college basketball in scoring defense, allowing opponents just under 59 points per game this season. But Michigan State was able to jump that hump and get to the 70 line both of the times here against Michigan. As the first game that Michigan State played against Michigan, it was at Michigan, where the Wolverines got cold late shooting in that game, and the Spartans took advantage of it and got the W there. As Michigan State won that one 71-70. And then the last game back on March 9th, it was a 75-63 victory by Michigan State. But erase all the records here. This is the Big Ten title game. Anything can happen here between both of these squads. We'll see. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Let's get this going. We're a couple minutes away here from the game between the Spartans and the Wolverines. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Updating you guys with scores here in the American Conference Tournament Championship right now. It's a tie game at 12 between Cincinnati and Houston, with around 13.5 left to go before halftime. Also, the Sun Belt Conference Championships going down as well. Georgia State leading against Texas Arlington 48-43, as that's the Sun Belt tournament title game. St. Bonaventure against St. Louis. That game just finished up momentarily, as St. Louis is going to the tournament. They were projected as the number 1 team in the preseason poll in the A10. They finished as a number 6 seed in the regular season standings, but here they are making their way into the Field 68, into the March Madness tournament, as the Billikens won today against the Bonnies 55-53. And then a shocker in the game that I covered before. A huge victory for Auburn, forcing Tennessee into 17 turnovers, 14 steals in the game as Auburn and the Tigers won 84-64 the SEC title over the Tennessee Vols. So that's what's happened in college basketball. And after this game, I'll be also doing live reactions of the Selection Sunday show that goes down. So feel free to join me for that one as well. But this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, about 4 to 5 minutes before tip-off, I believe. Michigan State against Michigan. This is so a hyped-up game between both of these teams. Tom Izzo's squad for the Spartans going up against John Beilein's Wolverines in this matchup. And, of course, Nick Ward is back to action for the Michigan State Spartans as he shoots the ball right now at around 61% from the field. He's going to be a factor today. They've been giving Nick Ward a little bit more playing time each and every game for Michigan State as he's coming back from that hand injury he suffered about a month ago. But he suffered that, I think, against Ohio State on a game on Sunday. I think it was around like mid-February or so. But Nick Ward should be back to action today once again. He played yesterday against Wisconsin and the game before against Ohio State. So here we are, a few minutes away from the action. Top 2 point guards going at it inside the Big Ten. Cassius Winston and also Xavier Simpson. Should be a good game for both of these teams. This much hyped up matchup with two of the biggest rival teams in all college basketball. Right next to Duke and North Carolina is Michigan and Michigan State. Big Ten basketball at its finest here in the Big Ten tournament title game. So here we are. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and subscribe as well. And Isaiah Livers yesterday, he definitely delivered from the bench. He had 21 points in yesterday's win against Minnesota for Michigan as Livers, his 21 points. Michigan crushed Minnesota 76-49. So Michigan, they started out the season 17-0 until they lost against Wisconsin back on January 19th. That was a game at Madison, Wisconsin. This season, Michigan is undefeated on a neutral court. They have a record of 4-0 on a neutral court. They also have a 9-5 record against teams inside the top 50. Michigan State has a record of 13-3. Yet Gonzaga has a record of 4-3, and they're still projected to be a number 1 seed. Here we are to action on the tip-off, and Michigan State controls it with 19:53 remaining. So Michigan and the Wolverines in the yellow jerseys with the dark blue lettering, Michigan State. In the home jerseys, the white jerseys with a dark green lettering. Here we are to action. The Spartans have the ball. Right wing of the perimeter. Matt McQuaid shoots the 3. No good off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Michigan here. We just got started. 19.5 left to go. Michigan with the ball. First shot was no good by the Spartans. Right wing of the perimeter here for Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis passes it off. Top of the key to Charles Matthews. Matthews now looking for a man who's open. 19:20 left to go in the first. Back to Iggy. Right wing of the perimeter to Iggy, trying to work his way inside. And he tried to kick that ball back outside right there in the dish, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's a turnover by the Wolverines to start things off, and the ball go back to Michigan State. 19:10 left to go. Still scoreless here as we just got underway, and we're through almost the first minute of this one. Top of the key here for Cassius Winston. Winston passes it left wing of the perimeter. Kenny Goins feeds that inside to kick it back outside. Matt McQuaid trying to dribble around the free throw circle. Almost lost control of the ball, but he tips it back to Winston. McQuaid passes left corner 3. No good. Hits the side of the backboard there by Kenny Goins and rebounded by Brazdeikis of Michigan. 0-0 Michigan with the ball. Let's see what the Wolverines can do with their second possession of the game. They have it at the top of the key here with Xavier Simpson dribbling towards the left wing of the perimeter. Simpson passes right wing of the 3-point perimeter. Jordan Poole back to Simpson. Simpson at the free throw circle. Left corner 3. Right, hits that one actually. Right corner 3. Iggy Brazdeikis knocks it down. 3-0 Michigan off the 3-point shot right there by Iggy. 18:12 left to go. Sparty with the ball at the right wing of the perimeter. Matt McQuaid. Top of the key here for McQuaid. Looking for a man to pass it to. Finds Goins. Goins, right wing of the perimeter. Back to the top of the key here for Winston. Winston now with 17:56 remaining. 3-ball from the outside by Goins. No good. Rebounded by Michigan with 17:50 left to go before halftime. So Michigan State has not scored a bucket yet. 19-3 record for Michigan. in March since 2017. That is darn good. Michigan now with the ball top of the key. They try to work inside, and they pass it back outside to the perimeter. Jordan Poole with it. Left wing, he has it of the three-point arc. Poole now, he falls down with the ball. He finds his teammate, though, Xavier Simpson. Simpson trying to dribble baseline underneath the basket, but he's too strong off the backboard. Rebounded by Michigan State. Spartans with the ball, pushing tempo, trying to work their way inside low post. And what a denial right there by Michigan. But Michigan State gets back the ball. Right wing three, no good by Matt McQuaid. Rebound is saved by Michigan State. They put it into the hands of Kenny Goins. Puts the ball back into the hands, top of the key here for Winston. Feeds it down low to Goins, and Goins saves it again before it goes out of bounds. Puts it into the hands of Tillman. They're passing around the perimeter. McQuaid now left wing of the perimeter, back outside to Winston. 3-0 Michigan with a lead. A lot of dribbling here for the Spartans, and they find their man low post up and in as he gets behind the defense right there. Xavier Tillman lays in the bucket. It's 3-2. 16.5 left to go. 3-2 is the score. Michigan up by 1. I'll update you guys with a chat here in the score as the Wolverines have the ball top of the key with it. Trying to work their way inside. A jumper in the key. No good. Hits the bottom part of the rim. Rebounded with 16:15 left in the first. Michigan State now 3-ball, and they dial it up from the outside. Matt McQuaid right there hits the 3-point shot with 16 minutes left remaining in the first. Michigan now with the ball, down by 2. 5-3, Spartans with a lead. Right wing of the perimeter, Iggy Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis passes it left wing here to Xavier Simpson. He passes it to Iggy, trying to work his way inside, and Iggy is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. A good game early, back and forth action there. Matt McQuaid with a go-ahead 3-point shot in the early stages here. 15:49 left to go in the first. When we do get back to action, Michigan will be at the free throw line. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I call play-by-play of college basketball games, so stay in the know here with my channel. So just going to update you guys on the score of what's going on in other college basketball games out there right now. In the American Conference Tournament Final, it's Cincinnati who has the 6-point lead against Houston, 18-12, currently in that game going on as well. In the Sun Belt Conference Tournament Final, we have around 7 minutes left to play in regulation. Georgia State with a 59-52 lead against Texas Arlington right now. Georgia State made it into the March Madness tournament, I think it was 2016, where they were a 14 seed, and they beat the Baylor Bears in their first-round game in March Madness. They hit like a huge 3-point shot with like a second remaining and got the win against Baylor. So here we are, Georgia State looking to try to cash their ticket once again into the March Madness tournament. So we're on a TV timeout currently. Going to update you guys here in the chat with the leading. I updated you guys in the chat with a score. We have 15:49 left to go. When we do get back to action, Michigan State with a 2-point lead against Michigan. Leading scorer right here from Michigan, Iggy Brazdeikis with 3 points, and Michigan State, the leading scorer is Matt McQuaid with 3 as well. So the score right now, I'll put it back for you guys here in the chat. It's 5-3. Michigan State is up by 2. We're currently on a TV timeout. We're going to get back to action real soon with this one. We'll have 15:49 left to go in the first when we do so. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. I call play-by-play of college basketball games, so stay in the know here with my channel throughout the tournament. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So the Spartans up by 2 right now. Good game going on currently. Michigan took the early lead 3-0 off the 3-point shot by Iggy Brazdeikis. And then Michigan State laid it in underneath the basket with Xavier Tillman. And then they got their second basket from behind the arc with Matt McQuaid. So right now, it's a 5-3 game. We'll be back to action here as CBS almost has us here back to action. So when we do, we'll have 15:49 left to go in the first with a 5-3 game. Selection Sunday happens at 6 p.m. Eastern time today. Join me in for that one, as I'll be doing my live reaction video of that. Oh, this is where I went to high school, right here. I went to high school. It's the DR Falcons was the team. So that's my high school team that I went. So Michigan will go to the free throw line with Iggy Brazdakis. We have 15:49 left to go in the first. So Iggy Brazdakis is a 77% free throw shooter. First shot, no good. Hit the top of the iron, rolled back right there to the bottom and rimmed out. He'll get a second opportunity here at the free throw line. Iggy Brazdakis just missed his first one, and he hits his second one. So a miss on the first one, hit his second one, and it's 5-4 currently with 15:40 left to go in the first. Michigan State with the ball now. They have it at the top of the key with Matt McQuaid. McQuaid now dribbling out as he's guarded by Simpson, dribbling towards that left corner of the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Nick Ward, and it looks like we have a stoppage in time. 15:32 left to go in the first, and the whistle blown on the play. So that's good to see for Michigan State. Nick Ward is in the game this season. Ward has been third. Yeah, he's third in the conference in shooting percentage from the field, shooting the ball at 61%. Here we are back to action. Michigan State with the ball. They put it into the hands of Cassius Winston, the Big Ten Player of the Year over here, possibly. Top of the key, passes it right wing to Goins. Goins feeds it off to Nick Ward, trying to dribble. Floats up the shot in the key. No good off the iron. Rebounded by the big man, 7'1", John Teske of Michigan. So Michigan takes the ball past the timeline. They have it at the top of the key with Charles Matthews. They pass it off to Teske here, left elbow. Teske hands it off left wing of the perimeter. Three ball shot by Jordan Poole. No good off the top of the iron, and the ball gets almost tipped out of bounds. Cassius Winston tried to save it, but his foot looked to appear to be on the line. Tom Izzo not too pleased about that, trying to appeal the case right there to the ref. Looked like Cassius Winston's foot, yep. He tried to save the ball before it went out of bounds. His foot was on the baseline. So the ball will go back to Michigan here with 14:50 left to go in the first. 5-4 game. Wolverines with the ball at the top of the key. They have it into the hands of Charles Matthews. He passes it now, right elbow to Iggy, back to Matthews. Iggy now, right wing three from the outside by Iggy. Knocks it down right there. He's converted on 2 3-point shots so far by Iggy Brazdakis. The leading scorer of the Michigan Wolverines averages 15 points per game. Michigan with a 7-5 lead. Spartans now with the ball. 14:20 left to go before halftime. Nick Ward with the ball, trying to back his way inside a low post spin move. Got it. We're tied up at 7. 7 apiece with 14:10 left to go in the first. Michigan with the ball. They take it past the timeline with Eli Brooks. They have it at the top of the key. They pass it off to Teske. Top of the 3-point perimeter here for Teske. Passes it out left side of that 3-point perimeter. Dribbling now inside with this Jordan Poole. Puts it into the hands of Brooks. Brooks now puts it into Teske. Jumper at the left baseline. No good by John Teske. Rebounded by Matt McQuaid of Michigan State. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I'll be doing games throughout the tournament with play-by-play. Nick Ward with the ball for the Spartans. Kicks it back outside. Left wing of the perimeter. Dribbling inside and going up and in the key right there to lay it in is Aaron Henry of the Spartans. 9-7, 2-point lead for Michigan State. Michigan with the ball, left wing of the perimeter here with Eli Brooks. Brooks looking for a man who's open. He passes it to Charles Matthews, dribbling baseline left side. In there, Matthews dribbles out now towards the left wing of the 3-point perimeter. 9-7, Michigan State with a 2-point lead, 13:05 left to go. They pass it back to Brooks. Brooks takes the left wing 3 off the mark. Rebounded here by the Spartans. Spartans trying to go inside. No good by Cassius. Rebounded by Nick Ward. No good. And the ball touched out of bounds. Last touched by Michigan. Yeah, I think Michigan State could possibly have a good chance to go all the way. They've lost a couple games there, but it doesn't seem to bother me that those games they lost were 2 against Indiana. They just couldn't figure out how to play against Indiana. But other than that, this team is dangerous. They have 13 wins against top 50 opponents. Watch out for Michigan State in the tournament. I put them up there. I think I'd have them probably third in my bracket below North Carolina and Duke when they play in the title game. Here we are, Michigan State. They pass it left corner, 3 from the outside. Kyle Ahrens hits that one home for the Spartans. 12-7, they have the lead. We have 12:20 left to go. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Iggy Brazdeikis with the ball, right wing of the perimeter. Michigan State's on a 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Low post, and finally a shot goes home for Michigan underneath the basket. 12-9, Michigan State now up by 3. They have the ball with 12 minutes left to go before halftime. They pass it off right wing of the perimeter to Matt McQuaid. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Thanks for coming back here to the chat. Matt McQuaid has the ball, passes it off to Kenny Goins, left wing of the perimeter to Goins. He puts it into the hands of Foster Loyer. Loyer now at the top of the key. Dribbling towards that right wing of the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Nick Ward. Free throw circle jumper by Ward. Nothing but net with his shooting percentage. He's third in the Big Ten Conference shooting the ball from the field, and Nick Ward just hit an open jumper at the free throw circle right there to give the Spartans the 5-point lead, 14-9. Michigan with the ball at the top of the key. They're down by 5. Left wing here, the perimeter for the Wolverines. This is Jordan Poole, puts it into the hands, passes it right wing to Eli Brooks. Brooks now passes it. And right corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Michigan State. I go Michigan State for this one. I just think they're the better team throughout the entire lineup in this game. They're 13-3 against teams inside the top 50, whereas Michigan has a record of, I think, 9-5. But Michigan State's also played tougher competition these past 2 days, whereas Michigan played against Minnesota and crushed them yesterday. But I'm not sold on Minnesota really making it past the first round of the tournament. I think they're one and done if they do make it into the tournament. So Michigan just picked up the steal, trying to move inside, and we do have a foul called on the play with 10:37 left to go. Foul there on the floor. I think it was on Matt McQuaid of Michigan State. So we'll get back to action really shortly. Going to update you guys with the score. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button and the subscribe button that goes along with that as well. Just updated the score for you guys. We're on a commercial break right now. 14-9. Michigan State and the Spartans up against the Michigan Wolverines. So let's see what's going on in this game so far as we look to some of the team stats here. Michigan State shooting the ball 10% from the floor, better than Michigan currently, as the Spartans are shooting at 43% from the floor. Michigan shooting the ball at 33% currently on this TV timeout. Already 5 assists to count for right there by Michigan State in the early stages of this game. Gonna look at the box score here, and we see that Cassius Winston already has 2 assists for the Spartans. Hasn't scored yet, but Matt McQuaid has 3 points. Nick Ward leading the way here with 4. Hey, no problem. Thank you so much for joining for a second, for giving that like, and yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. Enjoy your stream. So let's see these leading scorers here. So Michigan and Michigan State. Michigan, their leading scorer, all 9 points has been scored so far by Iggy Brazdeikis of the Michigan Wolverines. So Michigan, the only scorer so far has been all 9 by Iggy, so it hasn't been a problem so far with him scoring. In the loss against Wisconsin, the first loss that they suffered of the season, Michigan had a 17-game winning streak, and then they lost that first game on January 19th against Wisconsin. Iggy Brazdeikis was held scoreless in that matchup, but here we are with a TV timeout. Michigan State's up by 5 with 10:50 left to go in the first. Just going to see what else is going on in college basketball right now. Cincinnati has a 24-20 lead against Houston in the American Conference Tournament title game. That one has around 4.5 minutes left to play before halftime. Watch out for Houston in the tournament, but right now they're down by 4 against Cincinnati, where Houston beat Cincinnati last Sunday at Cincinnati's home court. Inside the Sun Belt Conference title game, Georgia State with a lead against Texas Arlington, 64-58, with around 2.5 left to go. And those are the only 2 games going on besides this one. Michigan against Michigan State. Going to get back to action really shortly. Feel free to hit that like button if you're new down below and the subscribe button as well. So here we go. Who's number one? That's going to be the big thing later today. Is Gonzaga going to still be number one, or will Tennessee even make it there when they lost by 20 to Auburn? I don't think so. Tennessee beat Kentucky yesterday. I don't think Kentucky will make it in. If Michigan State wins this game, I believe Michigan State will make it in as a 1 seed. I don't know why they have North Carolina so deep in there. Now, people are saying UNC is going to be a 2 seed. We'll have to see how that goes. I have them as a 1, though, as the first shot at the free throw line goes down from Michigan. 14-10 right now. We're back to action here. Michigan just converted on their first shot at the free throw line. They'll get a second one as the Wolverines are down by 4. 14-10, make it 14-11 right there. We have 10.5 left to go before halftime. A 14-11 game, 3-point game here as Michigan State has the ball. Right corner of the perimeter, backing his way in there at the right baseline. Nick Ward passes it off. Right corner three from outside, no good by Michigan State. Rebounded by Michigan with 10-12 left to go in the first. The Wolverines now with the ball, left wing three, and no good from the outside. Fight for the rebound. The Spartans have it. That ball went into the hands of Xavier Tillman. Michigan just got a pretty good open look for that left wing three, but they couldn't convert. Here's a left wing three and knocks it down right there. Cassius Winston from behind the arc. 17-11. Michigan State up by 6. 9:45 left to go in the first. Michigan at the left wing of the 3-point perimeter with Xavier Simpson. Dribbles out to the top of the key. Right wing with Isaiah Livers. He had 21 points off the bench yesterday in the win against Minnesota. Michigan now with the ball, dribbling towards the free throw circle. They pass it off. Now they try to work inside. Jumper in the key. No good. Off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Xavier Tillman of Michigan State. 6-point lead by the Spartans. They have the ball. Winston at the right elbow looking for a man who's open to pass it to. Passes it low post inside. And no good on the bucket, but they get the offensive rebound, and Michigan State can build back and call the play once again. So we do have a foul called with 9:03 left to go. A reach-in foul on the floor. Going to update you guys here with the score. We have 9:03 left to go before halftime in this game. 17-11. There was a foul on the play. I thought it was a reach-in, but it appears to be an offensive foul by Xavier Tillman. So the ball will go back to Michigan here with a 6-point game. So Iggy Brazdeikis has it, floats it up under the basket, and John Teske is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 with 8:50 left to go in the first. I'm going to update you guys once again with a score. 8:50 left to go in the first. John Teske at the free throw line. Shooting 2 here for the Michigan Wolverines. As John Teske on the season's a 62% free throw shooter. Here he is at the charity stripe. First one, he knocks it down. 17-12 the score. Michigan down by 5. John Teske will get another shot here at the free throw line. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button down below to my video and subscribe as well. Knocks them both down as we got ourselves a 4-point game, 17-13. Michigan State with the ball. Right wing of the 3-point perimeter. Cassius Winston. He passes it off. Right elbow backing his way in there. Aaron Henry floats it up in the key. No good. Off the mark by Henry. And what a save right there by Michigan State. The ball goes almost out of bounds. Michigan with a save, though. And they lay it up and in right there, going coast to coast. The referee is down right on the baseline. What a save by Michigan. As Michigan State tried to save that ball from going out of bounds. They chucked it off a Michigan player right next to the baseline. And then Michigan saved it on the dive. Yeah, so on the replay, Kyle Ahrens chucked it off Iggy's foot. It went sideways to the baseline, and Michigan saved it. A dive right at the referee's knees. Looks like the ref got back up, and Michigan scored in transition. 17-15. Spartans with the ball. Left wing of the 3-point arc, Cassius Winston puts the ball into the hands of Goins and back into the hands of Winston. Right wing of the 3-point perimeter here. Winston Tries to feed the ball inside. Is stolen away here by the Wolverines. 17-15. 8 minutes left to go in the first. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And the subscribe button down below if you're new to the channel. Michigan now with the ball, top of the key. Teskey with it. And that goes out of bounds. Last touch by Michigan. So the ball will go back to Michigan State. Close game here. 2-point game with 7:48 left to go. Looks like another TV timeout on the court. Going to update you guys here with the score here in the chat. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, as I'll be doing live streams and my play-by-play throughout the March Madness tournament as well. So stay in the know here with my channel. So we have 7:48 left to go. When we do get back to action, it's a 17-15 game. As Michigan State, their leading scorer right now is 4 points. That's Nick Ward. Other than that, they have the whole team chipping in points basically throughout their entire lineup. 3 points by Cassius Winston, 3 points by Matt McQuaid, 3 points by Kyle Ahrens. All 3-point shots. And then 2 points by Aaron Henry, 2 by Xavier Tillman. And Kenny Goins is the only one who hasn't been able to get going so far. He's still scoreless, 0 for 3 shooting from the field. We look to the Michigan Wolverines, the leading scorer right now, Iggy Brazdeikis, with 9 points at this stage of the game. 2 rebounds to go along with that as well. And then 4 points by Jordan Poole. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play of college basketball action, and I'll be doing this throughout the March Madness tournament. So stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I'm going to go through some of these stats here since we're on a commercial break. Michigan State shooting the ball at 39% from the field. Michigan shooting at 33% from the field. The Spartans out-rebounding the Wolverines 12-7 currently. And let's look at the assists here by Cassius Winston. Cassius Winston coming in with 2 assists so far in this game. Just going to look to the college basketball scoreboard of what's going on with other games. In the American Conference Tournament Finals, Cincinnati has the 5-point lead against Houston with around 2 minutes left to go before halftime. It's 29-24, Bearcats on top. And inside the Sun Belt Conference Championship, it's Georgia State, who looks like they're going to be punching their ticket into the March Madness tournament. With under a minute remaining, they're up against Texas Arlington, 72-60. But here we are, almost back to action. Michigan against Michigan State. We'll be back right after this TV timeout here, as we got a pretty good game so far, 17-15. We had a couple of 3-point shots that went down by the Spartans. They're 3 for 8 shooting from behind the arc. I did the stream earlier today. Auburn beat Tennessee by 20 points. Auburn connected on 14 3-point shots from the floor. But here we are. Both of these teams that's combined today, they've combined for 5 fouls and 5 turnovers between Michigan and Michigan State. Here we are. We're going to get ready to go back to action very, very shortly, a few seconds from now, as the ref hands the ball to Kenny Goins. He puts the ball into the hands of Cassius Winston. Here we are back to action. Looks like Kyle Ahrens of Michigan State shown riding the medical bicycle on the side of the court right now. So he's out of the game for Michigan State. Here we are, left wing of the perimeter, and Winston passes the ball to Goins. Goins try to dribble it inside, kicks it back outside to Aaron Henry. Henry inside the key, floats up a shot, no good off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Teskey of Michigan. 2-point game, Wolverines with the ball. 17-15, Spartans up by 2. 7:15 left to go before halftime. Top of the key here for the Michigan Wolverines. They dribble now, trying to go baseline on the right side of the perimeter. They're at the right wing of the 3-point perimeter. Xavier Simpson passes the ball inside and up and in as John Teskey gets behind the Spartan defense and ties this game up at 17. Michigan State with the ball. What a shot by Teskey on the other end of the defensive end right there. Denies the shot and going to the basket. 4 straight points by Michigan. So a huge deny right there by John Teskey off the Aaron Henry shot, and that's an 8-0 run for Michigan in the last 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Michigan State with the ball. They have it at the top of the key with Winston. Winston now dribbles towards the right wing of the perimeter, trying to dribble baseline, kicks it back outside. Top of the key here. This is Matt McQuaid. Down by 2 for the Spartans. Left elbow, deep 2. Hits the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Michigan as the Wolverines are up by 2. 6:10 left to go before halftime. Michigan with the ball. They take it past the timeline with Xavier Simpson. Simpson dribbling towards that top of the key. No points scored in the last 3 minutes, 55 seconds for Michigan State. The ball goes to Iggy, trying to work his way inside the low post. Passes it to Teskey. Back outside, left wing 3, and what a block right there by Aaron Henry, and the ball goes out of bounds. And the refs say that it was last touched by Michigan, so the Michigan State Spartans will get the ball here back on the inbound momentarily. 19-17 is the score. Michigan State has not scored a bucket in the past 4 minutes in this game. We have 5:52 left to go. The Spartans will get the ball back here on the inbound. If you're new on the channel, feel free to hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Michigan State dribbling at the free throw circle. Nick Ward hands it off to Winston. Winston, left wing perimeter, outside, passes it inside. Nick Ward, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by Simpson of Michigan. He takes it past the timeline towards the left wing in the three-point perimeter. Xavier Simpson with the ball with 5:25 left to go in the first. Top of the key, Simpson lobs it over the top underneath the basket, and John Teskey puts it off the backboard up and in. 21-17, 4-point lead for the Wolverines. 5:10 left to go before halftime. 10 points in the paint by Michigan, 6 by Michigan State. Spartans with the ball at the left wing of the three-point perimeter. This is Winston. Winston dribbles towards that right wing of the three-point perimeter. He tries to pass it inside to McQuaid, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover going back to the Wolverines with a 4-point lead by Michigan. So we have 21-17 as the score here. Close game. Michigan State just turned over the ball. Cassius Winston tried to dribble, feed the ball baseline to Matt McQuaid, who was trying to go up to the baseline, and he missed his mark on the pass. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play to college basketball games. So stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So here we are, back to action, 4-point game. Wolverines with the ball. They're at the right wing of the three-point perimeter. Iggy Brazdakis puts the ball into the hands of Xavier Simpson. 10-0 run for Michigan in the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. They have it at the right wing of the three-point perimeter. Right wing 3, and that one no good from the outside by Simpson. Rebounded by the Spartans. 4:30 left to go. We have 4:34, and we do have a player down, and that's not good for Michigan State. A player down, and the key here is they were trying to go for the rebound. That looks like it's Kyle Ahrens right there. Yeah, number 0 for Michigan State. Kyle Ahrens is down as he tried to rebound that in the key. He was battling with it with his teammate Kenny Goins. And also in there was Iggy Brazdakis from Michigan trying to rebound the ball, and bodies collided, and Ahrens is down on the ground. Hurt right now. Doesn't look good. Oh no, he's crying in pain as well. This is not good for Michigan State. Kyle Ahrens is one of the bench players. He averages about 5 points per game. Right now, the whole court is in silence. Yes, this isn't good. Michigan State has so much depth on their team throughout the entire starting 5 all the way from their bench. This isn't good at all. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all. Ahrens is in pain on the court. Oh gosh, they have to bring out the stretcher underneath the stadium. Jeez, that's not good. Wow. Ouch. The court right now is basically in an entire silence on the floor. Kyle Ahrens is really, really hurt in the key. No, not at all. That just doesn't feel good. Both of these teams right now are so emotional. CBS just had to cut away from their feed right there. I've never felt like such an emotional injury on a basketball court like ever. There's been a couple of them, like the Gordon Hayward injury last year in the season opener for the Celtics. Like that was really really bad. That was pretty emotional, but also the other one I saw back in the tournament, I think it was 2013, was the Kevin Ware injury for Louisville. That was completely terrible. How like the whole Louisville bench basically passed out when Kevin Ware tore his ACL on that play. It looks like Kyle Arns. It looked like he was kind of favoring his like shoulder and arm area when he went down. Like he maybe like hyperextended his shoulder on the play. Didn't look good at all. Gonna see over here what people are saying about it. Yeah. So they brought out the entire stretcher here. This game has been stopped momentarily. So they're gonna have to, yeah. I think they're putting like an air cast on him right now. Jeez. Yeah, it looked like he landed on his back and shoulder. Weird, but yeah, it looks like that. What people are saying, it's his ankle right now. Looked like it's a big ankle injury, like an ACL or so. Jeez. Wow. That's terrible. And they had to lift him right up there on the stretcher. Yeah, they put the air cast right on his left ankle. Man, that's terrible. Oh man. Hopefully, yeah. Everybody now is giving Kyle arms, big handshakes here. Man, he's in tears. The poor kid. But yeah, looks like he's done for the season. Hopefully, he'll have a speedy recovery here. Nobody would ever want to see that. They also showed CBS showed the stream of his mom out in the crowd like a minute ago, and she was in tears. Of the whole crowd was basically in tears. Kyle Arns will right now he's being transported underneath the tunnel. They put an air cast on his left leg. Looks like it's an ankle injury right now for Kyle Arns. Yeah, it was him and his teammate who went up for the rebound together. I think it was Kenny Goins who also tried to go up for the rebound, and I think Iggy Brazdakis was right behind them. So there was basically three guys going up for the rebounds, but he bumped into his teammate and he went down on the floor. So emotional over here. So we'll see what happens. Izzo was even in tears on the sideline right now. But here we are getting ready to go back to action. And just like that, Michigan State delivering a three in response. Matt McQuaid from the outside, 21-20. So here we are back to action. Michigan with the ball. 4:13 left to go in the first. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. Now they try to work their way inside, and they get the bucket down low. No charge called underneath. So Michigan State banked it home 23-20 right now. Left wing of the perimeter here. Spartans at the top of the key. They pass it off. Right wing of the three-point perimeter, Matt McQuaid, and he loses control. The ball goes out of bounds. Michigan will get it back on the turnover. So I'm going to put in the chat the latest score for you guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. 23-20 Michigan with the 3-point lead with 3:56 left to go in the first. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I'm going to go over some of the key players here of the leading scorers in the right here going on in this game. Leading the way for Michigan State, 6 points by Matt McQuaid, and then 4 points right now by Nick Ward. For the Michigan Wolverines, 9 points by Iggy Brazdakis. Most of those points were scored within like the first 5 minutes of the game. I remember Michigan had their first 8 points were scored by Iggy, basically. But a few minutes ago, Kyle Arns, one of the bench players for Michigan State went down on the court, bumped into his own teammate when they were trying to rebound the ball, and it did not look good at all. They had to get a stretcher out and put an air cast right over his left leg, and they've sent him underneath the tunnel to check him out in the medical room. Not good at all. Prayers sent to Kyle Arms, and hopefully he can get back to basketball hopefully soon. Right now looked really, really bad. I've seen a couple of bad injuries on the screen before with the team was like basically in tears. Michigan State, after he injured himself, they were right next to him, shaking his hands, telling him to get better, sending him prayers, and everybody from Michigan State was basically in tears, even the whole crowd. But I've seen that back in 2013 was like the last time they've seen that in a college basketball game with Louisville when they were playing in the NCAA tournament with the big injury by Louisville, where one of the players tore their ACL on the play. But right now it's 23-20. That was the Kevin Ware injury for Louisville against Duke in the tournament. But here we are. Just going to update you guys here with the team stats and the score here. So 23-20, Michigan's up by 3. When we do get back to action, we'll have 3:56 left to go. And Michigan is shooting the ball around almost 10% better than Michigan State right now. It was flipped the script the other way earlier on in this game, but the Wolverines have come alive shooting from the field, shooting the ball at 44%. The Spartans shooting the ball at 35% from the field. But Michigan State out-rebounding Michigan 14-11. Hey, what's up? Thanks so much for joining me back here. Hey, how'd your stream go so far? So let's see these latest tickets that got punched today in the Ivy League. Yale and the Bulldogs captured the title. Auburn beat Tennessee by 20 earlier today in the SEC title game. Georgia State just punched their ticket in the Sun Belt Conference Final, beating Texas Arlington 73-64. And St. Louis holding on against St. Bonaventure 55-53. So here we are getting ready to go back to action. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and the subscribe button down below. I'll be keeping you guys into the tournament as well as I do play-by-play and live reaction videos of college basketball games. Here we are back to action. Left wing of the three-point perimeter here for the Wolverines. They have it into the hands of Xavier Simpson. Simpson puts it into the hands of Isaiah Livers. He delivered with 21 points off the bench yesterday in the win over Minnesota. Left wing three. Knocks that one down by Isaiah Livers, picking up where he left off yesterday. 26-20. Michigan with a 6-point lead. Michigan State now with the ball. Cassius Winston, left wing of the three-point arc. He tries to dribble inside in the key. Puts the ball back outside. Right corner to McQuaid. Right wing here with Winston. Winston looking for an open man. Inside the key, and a charge foul called as Michigan takes the charge with 3:14 left to go. So Thomas Kithier is off the bench now. Got the lob pass. Winston led him in the key with a big lob pass, and he bumped the Michigan defender as Michigan took the charge. So an offensive foul called by the Spartans. That's their 5th with 3:05 left to go. 6th turnover of the game by Michigan State. Michigan with the ball. Right wing of the three-point perimeter for the Wolverines. Try to dribble inside and a block out of bounds by Kithier. Ball will go back to the Wolverines here with under 3 remaining before halftime. 26-20. With 2:55 left to go in the first. Michigan now with the ball. They have it at the top of the key. Looking for a man who's open. Passes it left wing of the three-point perimeter here for the Wolverines. Takes it inside. Hook shot up in the key, and it goes up and in as he floats it over the top. 28-20. Largest lead by Michigan so far today. Michigan State now with the ball. Goins at the top of the key. Passes it off. Matt McQuaid dribbling left wing of the perimeter here to Winston. 14 points in the paint by the Wolverines. Only 6 by the Spartans. Winston has it at the left wing of the three-point perimeter. Dribbles towards that top of the key. Right wing three, McQuaid. Knocks that one down right there by Matt McQuaid from the outside. 28-23. 2:15 left to go in the first. Big shot from the outside by Matt McQuaid. He's a top 5 three-point shooter right now inside the Big Ten. 5-point game, Michigan with the ball. 2 minutes left to go before the half. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button and the subscribe button down below. Top of the key here for Xavier Simpson, dribbling towards the right wing of the 3-point perimeter for Michigan. 3-ball by Simpson, dials it up, no good off the top of the rim. Rebounded by Michigan State. Under a minute and 48 left to go. Right wing three again, McQuaid, no good. Hits the front part of the rim. Rebounded by Michigan. They have the ball, trying to take it up past half court. Iggy does. Takes it past the timeline here. Top of the key for Brazdakis. Brazdakis puts it into the hands of Xavier Simpson. Michigan with the ball with a minute and a half left to go before halftime. Right wing three by Iggy. And he connects from the outside. Minute 22 left to go. Huge three-point shot from the right wing by Iggy Brazdakis. 31-23. And a timeout taken on the court by Tom Izzo. So right now, Iggy Brazdakis, the leading scorer for the Michigan Wolverines, putting big numbers on the court today. Huge shot from three-point range. 12 points right now by Brazdakis as we have a TV timeout called on the court. So, yeah, that's what Michigan really, really needs in order to win these big-time games. More Iggy Brazdakis, as the games that they've lost, that he hasn't been a main factor this season, he was held scoreless against Wisconsin, 0 points in the first loss of the season at Madison, where they had a 17-0 record going into that game, and Michigan lost on January 19th by 10 points to the Badgers. So right now we just got an injury update on Kyle Arns, as he went under the medical tunnel underneath the arena, and there his parents came down with him, and I believe that they're going to transport him to the hospital as of the latest moment. So that's the latest check-in on Michigan State's Kyle Arns, who went down a few minutes ago with a really, really bad injury as he was trying to rebound the ball in the court. We're back to action here. Michigan State, no good on the shot, but they get the offensive rebound as Aaron Henry got the offensive board. Winston tried to go inside. Too many defenders there. They blocked it away. Michigan with the ball now. The Wolverines set up the offense with Jordan Poole. Passes it right wing of the perimeter here to Xavier Simpson as they're taking time off the clock. Under 40 seconds left to go before halftime. At the right wing of the perimeter, top of the key here with Iggy. Iggy, another three, and hits the bottom part of the rim. That time it couldn't go in. Rebounded by the Spartans. 26 seconds left to go. Winston takes it to the left wing of the three-point perimeter as he has the ball. 20 seconds remaining before halftime. Cassius Winston has the ball in his hands. 15 seconds left to go. 31-23, Michigan State down by 8. 10 seconds left. Winston, top of the key. 8 seconds. Winston making his move. 6. 5 at the free throw circle. Backs out top of the key, looking for a man. Top of the key, 3. And hits the bottom part of the rim, and we're going to halftime. Michigan and the Wolverines with an 8-point lead at the half. 31-23. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I call play-by-play of college basketball games, and I'll be doing this into the March Madness tournament. And also feel free to listen in and watch the Selection Sunday show that I'll be doing today as the teams get announced into the March Madness tournament. But currently we're at halftime, 31-23 between Michigan and Michigan State. So we're going to just preview the leading players at the half for both of these teams. For the Wolverines, the leading scorer, Iggy Brazdakis, right now with 12 points at halftime. For the Michigan Wolverines, coming in second on the team and scoring, John Teske with 6 points. Michigan State, their leading scorer right now at halftime happens to be Matt McQuaid, who has 9 points as he's shooting the ball 3 for 6 from behind the arc. Matt McQuaid's a top 5 3-point shooter inside the Big Ten at this stage of the season, as right now we're at the half. And Nick Ward with 4 points as well, chipping in for his team. So we'll look at the team stats, then we'll go into some of the halftime scores as well. From the field, Michigan shooting the ball at 46% from the floor right now. Michigan State shooting the ball at only 32% from the floor. As from three-point range, Michigan State's made up for it, though. 5 for 12 from behind the arc. Michigan, 4 for 12. And let's see what else we got here. The Spartans out rebounding the Wolverines 18-14. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play of college basketball games. So stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Michigan right now looking really, really good, but they did outscore Michigan State with a Kyle Arns injury. Without Kyle Arns on the floor at the end of the half, I think Michigan outscored them. I think it was like 10-4, I believe. They showed the graphic before halftime. But let's see. Right now, we are at the half. This Michigan Wolverines team has crushed the past two opponents. Okay, yeah, 10-6. Soundly so far. Yeah, I saw the graphic briefly on the board, and then I missed it at the end because I was trying to update the score here in the chat because they went really briefly into the Tom Izzo interview. But here we are, Michigan on the last two games currently. It's Iggy Brasdeikis was the leading scorer against Iowa in the game on Friday. They outscored the Iowa Hawkeyes 74-53 in the win over there against the 6th seed in the Big Ten. Against Minnesota, Michigan beating Minnesota 76-49 yesterday, crushed them as they shot the ball 52% from the floor. Isaiah Livers off the bench delivered with 21 points, as Michigan has only had 7 turnovers in the past 2 games. Going to check that stat for you guys. Let's see how many turnovers they have right now. They only have 2 turnovers at the half. That's something that Michigan does really, really well this season. They're second in college basketball, right behind the Virginia Cavaliers in fewest turnovers per game on the season. Also, Michigan does not foul that often. Just checking the fouls. Yeah, they only have 1 foul that they committed during the half, during that first half. So Michigan ranks 4th right now coming into this game in college basketball, and fewest fouls committed by a college basketball team in Division I this season. But here we are. We're at halftime. 8-point lead currently by the Wolverines as we are at the half. Just going to update you guys on what else is going on in college basketball with the scores right now. The big one, that's the other game going on, the American Conference tournament title game. It's Cincinnati playing against Houston, as Cincinnati has the 5-point lead as they just began the second half. It's 35-30, the Bearcats with a 5-point lead. And Georgia State, about 20 minutes ago, punching their ticket into the March Madness tournament, beating out Texas Arlington 73-64. So Georgia State will be back in the big dance. I think it was like 3 years ago or so. I think it was 2016, where they played Baylor in the first round. And Georgia State was like a 14 seed, and they beat Baylor in that first round game as a 3 seed. And it was a big, big 3-pointer down the stretch that Georgia State won. I think they won that one at the buzzer against Baylor. And then, of course, the A-10 tournament final, that took place right before Michigan against Michigan State. St. Louis beating State Bonaventure by 2 points as the Bonnies had the final chance. They had one desperation shot. They couldn't get it in off the top of the rim, and it got rebounded by St. Louis. So there you go. The A-10 tournament title goes to the Billikens, who were projected to be the #1 team inside the Atlantic 10 in the preseason. They happened to be the #6 seed when it came down to March Madness time for the A-10 tournament. But here they are victorious today in that game, hitting some big key shots down the stretch from the outside for the Billikens. They were down by 1 point with 7 minutes remaining. They went inside, scored that one home, up by 6 with under 4 left remaining in that game. St. Bonaventure, give them credit, though, for crawling back in that game with under 4 minutes left to play, as they were down by 8, but not enough, as the right corner 3 rattled out, and St. Bonaventure lost by 2. There was a couple of other games that went down today, and what an upset we had between Auburn and Tennessee, as Auburn beat Tennessee 84-64 earlier today. Chuma Okeke had 18 points, 13 rebounds in the game for the Auburn Tigers. Tennessee did not show up. They were forced into 17 turnovers in the game. The Yale Bulldogs punched their ticket into the March Madness tournament. They beat Harvard today 97-85. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play videos of college basketball games, so stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So getting you ready for the March Madness tournament. We're almost there. Selection Sunday happens in about an hour and a half. I'll do a stream of that for you guys. So live stream of Selection Sunday when the results come in of who makes it into the tournament and who gets left out on the bubble. Will North Carolina State make it into the tournament? We'll see. They have a record of 22-11 overall. Right now, they are inside the ESPN latest bracket projections as the first team out. So we'll see if North Carolina State can make it into the tournament. So many automatic bids have been handed out, 32 of them. Of course, Duke looking like they'll be on the number 1 line. Will they be the number 1 overall seed? That's what we'll see during the selection show, as Duke beat Florida State yesterday by 10 points in the ACC title game. Will the ACC get 3 teams as number 1 seeds in the bracket? We'll see later today. North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia. Will they get 2 teams in the bracket? Will Tennessee still possibly be a 1, even though they lost by 20 against Auburn today? I don't think so. I don't think Kentucky will be a 1 either, since they lost to Tennessee yesterday. If Michigan State comes out victorious here, I think they will be a 1 if they do come back against Michigan in the second half. But thinking about the 1 seed here, I think Gonzaga maybe will get pushed back to a 2. We'll see. Gonzaga against the top 50 teams in Quadrant 1, they have a record of 4-3. Michigan State has a record of 13-3 when it comes to teams in Quadrant 1. Yet they have a much tougher schedule than Gonzaga. But for some reason, Gonzaga's on the 1 line. So today in Selection Sunday, we'll see what seeds they give out to all these teams and who gets left out of the bracket. I'm saying this, the Texas Longhorns should be able to get left out of the bracket. They need to play in the NIT, especially with a record of 16-16. I don't know how you can make it into the tournament with a 500 record at an at-large. So I think they're bye-bye as far as March Madness in the tournament here. As far as the last 4 in, it looks like this: Arizona State, Temple, St. John's, and TCU. TCU has a conference record in the Big 12 of 7-11. Is that enough to make them go into the tournament over North Carolina State? Or will NC State be in the tournament with a 22-11 record, 9-9 in the ACC? Do you think that's a good enough record with 22 wins in one of the best conferences in all college basketball? But North Carolina State as well played the easiest non-conference schedule out of every single team in college basketball. When they're beating teams in non-conference play, like teams called Mount St. Mary's, the Maine Black Bears, yeah, there's a problem there, and that's why North Carolina State might get left out even when they have a record of 22-11 overall. Looking at some of these teams, St. Peter's University, they played Maryland Eastern Shore for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. They beat Mercer. They beat Vanderbilt, who could not win a single game in the SEC this season. They also beat Penn State, one of the bottom teams in the Big Ten. But here we are, Auburn winning the title game today might have helped out North Carolina State in order to get into the tournament, because North Carolina State beat Auburn in non-conference play 78-71. And here we are on Selection Sunday, where the Auburn Tigers beat Tennessee today by 20 points. So it's going to be interesting who gets into the tournament, who doesn't, and who can be a sleeper team as well. Possibly the Buffalo Bulls in there. They clinched the MAC title game yesterday. They might be a sleeper in the tournament. Houston, possibly a big team that could take it into the Final Four as well. Going to give you guys the update of that score. As Cincinnati is actually up by 7 against Houston, 39-32. We have around 16.5 left to go in the American Conference Tournament final game. So I do play-by-play of college basketball games. Right now we're at halftime between Michigan and Michigan State. Feel free to hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as we've had some pretty good games in the past couple of days. North Carolina against Duke, that game came down to basically the final shot at the buzzer. UNC couldn't get the desperation 3 by Kobe White. And, of course, Duke yesterday winning the ACC title game against Florida State by 10 points. So will Duke get the number 1 overall seed? That will be another thing that the committee will look at. I think when I looked at this, ESPN projected for Duke to be that #1 overall seed in the tournament. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. The Houston Cougars right now, they're a top 5 defense in the nation. They're very, very good on both sides of the ball. For the Houston Cougars, they're a very, very good team to watch out for. A possible Final Four team. They play with so much chemistry on the court. Corey Davis Jr., Galen Robinson Jr., DeJon Jarreau. They have a lot of clutch players. Armani Brooks is one of the best three-point shooters in the American Conference. Houston has so much chemistry on the court. They also have really, really good defensive players in their lineup. I think they're like top 5 in all of college basketball in defensive shooting percentage when it comes to allowing opponents to shoot the ball from the field. Every single possession is a challenge against Houston, and that's why it's tough to play them. They're a very, very tough team when it comes to defending as well. They shoot the ball just as good as anybody from the floor. And on the defensive side, Houston has a ton of bodies who can force you into turnovers, force you into missed shots from the field. They rebound the ball well also. The Cougars, I've got as well on my radar to make it as a long run in the tournament. There's other teams right now that are really living up the hype with a hot hand in the tournament. Also, watch out for the Oregon Ducks, guys, as they punched their ticket into the March Madness tournament yesterday, winning the Pac-12 final against the #1 seed, the Washington Huskies, by 20 points. Oregon is a team to watch out for. They've won 8 games in a row. They're finally finding their mojo, as they did have a couple of players who did play in that Final Four team with Dylan Brooks back in 2017. Peyton Pritchard, the point guard for Oregon, one of those players. This team's going to be a team to watch out for. They're going to be one of those bracket busters possibly in the tournament. We'll see who they get to play in the tournament. Most likely, Oregon will be on the 11 seed line. That's what ESPN projects them to be. We'll see if they can end up getting a matchup, possibly with a 6 seed, most likely Mississippi State, as that's what we'll see on Selection Sunday, around like an hour and a half from now. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. As I do play-by-play the college basketball game, so stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. And yeah, Cincinnati right now actually surprising Houston. It's Cincinnati who has the big lead, 43-32, with 14:40 left to go in the American Conference Tournament Final. So the Houston Cougars are down by 11 currently to Cincinnati. Houston beat Cincinnati last week at home, so yeah, that's really, really weird right there. Gotta love March basketball at its finest. A bunch of upsets left and right. That's what March basketball is all about. And it's kind of a head scratcher too, with Virginia losing to Florida State in their first game of the ACC tournament. How good is Virginia going in to the March Madness tournament now? It makes me wonder. But here we are. We're going to get back to action really shortly here for the start of the second half between Michigan and Michigan State. The score right now is 31-23. The Wolverines are up by 8, as we've had a couple of key players in there from Michigan who's really done a great job for the Wolverines early on in this game. Iggy Brasdakis leading the way, 12 points right now for Michigan. When Iggy scores, this team can be really, really dangerous on the court when they get Iggy going. He was held scoreless in the first loss of the season against Wisconsin and Madison. He also, I think, scored only 6 points against Penn State when they lost at Penn State on the road. But Iggy already with 12 points at halftime, 9 points off of turnovers by the Michigan Wolverines, 0 by the Michigan State Spartans. Yep, Virginia last year lost against UMBC in the first round, and it wasn't even like a close game. But that was last year. That was without DeAndre Hunter, one of the top three-point shooters for Virginia. He's one of the top three-point shooters in the country as well, DeAndre Hunter. So he's back. He's healthy. I think that Virginia does make it through a few rounds, but since we saw them against Florida State, I'm not sure if they can make it into a deep, deep run into the tournament. But here we are. We're going to get back to action shortly. Michigan and Michigan State for the second half here as Tom Izzo is talking things over with his crew before they go back out there, as they are huddled right around him right now. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button, as well as I call play-by-play the college basketball games. Join me as well for the March Madness Selection Sunday show. That one will start around 6 p.m. Eastern time tonight, as I'll be doing a live reaction to the teams that get into the tournament, and we'll discuss some of the matchups as well. So let's check out this. Cassius Winston, the Big Ten Player of the Year. He has 4 assists going into the second half right now, but only 3 points to show for at halftime. If Michigan State wants to make more or something in this game, they need to start feeding the ball more to Cassius Winston and to get him open to make some shots. Cassius Winston, the past 2 games as well, he scored 27 points in the first win against Michigan back on February 24th. In the last game against Michigan, Cassius Winston scored 23 points. He has 3 points to show for today. Here we are back to action. Michigan with the ball first. Left wing of the perimeter to Charles Matthews, passes it off top of the key to Xavier Simpson. He goes to the left elbow, goes back to Simpson at the top of the key. Simpson now dribbling baseline left side inside that three-point arc, passing the ball out. Left wing of the three-point perimeter, Jordan Poole at the free throw circle. Poole kicks it back out. Left wing 3 by Teske. No good from the outside. Rebounded by the Spartans. 19.5 left to go remaining in the game. Cassius Winston with the ball. Top of the key here for Winston. Dribbles. Left wing of the perimeter. Puts the ball at the right corner of the perimeter. Right wing 3. McQuaid knocks it down. 31-26. Huge shot right there by Matt McQuaid to start things off for the Michigan State Spartans. I'm going to update you guys with the score. 19 minutes left to go. Michigan now with the ball. Left wing of the perimeter. They put it into the hands of Teske. Teske at the left elbow. And now it goes into the hands of Xavier Simpson. Simpson trying to go inside. Try to lay it in off the backboard. Hit the right edge of the backboard. Michigan State with a rebound, and they stepped out of bounds with 18:51 left to go. So Michigan will get the ball back. So here we are, Wolverines. Put the ball at the right elbow with Iggy. Puts it into the hands of Teske, and now it's a top of the key 3 from the outside. Knocks it down right there by Jordan Poole. 34-26, 8-point lead again for Michigan. 18:35 left to go. Michigan State with the ball, backing his way inside low post. Spin move. Xavier Tillman guarded by Teske. No good. Off the backboard. Rebounded by Michigan. Trying to extend the lead. The Wolverines are. They have the ball into the hands of Iggy as he tries to make his way inside. Iggy at the left side baseline, backing his way. Low post, working on Goins. Iggy no good off the top of the backboard. Too strong. Rebounded by Michigan State. They take it past the right side of the timeline. This is Winston. Winston passes it right wing 3. McQuaid. No good. Circled around the rim. Rebounded by the Wolverines here with 18 minutes left to go remaining in the game. 34-26. Michigan up by 8. Michigan has the ball. Right wing 3. Iggy knocks it down. Largest lead of the game by Michigan off of Iggy Brazdeikis is 15 points right now. 37-26 the score. Michigan State down by 11. They have the ball. 17:35 left to go. A shot no good by Michigan State. Rebounded by Michigan. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below, the subscribe button as well. Michigan takes the ball past the timeline. They have it at the edge of that half-court line, now at the left wing of the three-point perimeter. Dribbling with the ball, this is Xavier Simpson. Feeds it down low post, Iggy, and too strong off the backboard. Teammates collide on the floor. Looks like Iggy was fouled as John Teske took a tumble under his teammate Iggy Brazdeikis underneath the hoop right there. Got ourselves a foul called on the play. Iggy Brazdeikis making the Michigan Wolverines right now something big happening here for Michigan, because Iggy making big things happening, 15 points right now in this game. The freshman from Canada has a chance to put 16 on the board for himself today. He's at the free throw line, and he does just that. 16 points by Brazdeikis. 38-26. We have 17-12 left to go in this game. Second shot at the free throw line by Brazdeikis. Knocks them both down. Big game today by Iggy. 13-point lead right now. Michigan State with the ball. They take it past the timeline with Matt McQuaid. McQuaid now, top of the key, dribbling towards the left wing of that three-point perimeter. Almost lost control of the ball. Got it back, though. 8-0 run here by Michigan in the last minute and 35. They feed it down low. Michigan State, no, he was denied, but he gets fouled. Looks like John Teskey gets called with the blocking foul on the play with 16:53 left. So Michigan State will go to the free throw line to shoot two. The score right now, Michigan 39, Michigan State 26. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. So here we are at the free throw line. First shot from the line by Xavier Tillman. It's a 74% free throw shooter. Hit that one. 39-27. Second shot. No good off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Michigan here as they're up by 12. Michigan has only committed 2 fouls in this entire game today. One in the first half, and that was just their second one that sent Tillman to the line. Michigan now with the ball. They feed it inside low post. No good by Teskey off the backboard. Too strong. No good. It gets rebounded by Michigan State into the hands of Winston. Right wing in the three-point perimeter here. Cassius Winston dribbling now. Top of the key here for Winston. Passes it left wing to Aaron Henry. Back to Winston at the top of the key. No shots from the field for the past 11 minutes and 45 seconds. No 2-point shots have gone down. Michigan State has hit 3-point shots, but not 2-point shots in the past 12 minutes, basically. A steal in the lane. Michigan State now trying to go to the rim, and they do. Finally, a slam dunk. Rise above the authority right there by Aaron Henry. Slicing and dicing in between two teammates. 39-29. That was what Michigan State needed to get back in the game right there off a big steal, and then they take it all the way to the rack right there with Aaron Henry. Michigan with the ball, left wing in the three-point perimeter with 15:40 remaining. The shot, deep left elbow two, knocks it down right there. 41-29, Wolverines up by 12. Michigan State with the ball. 3 from the outside, no good. Offensive rebound, put back. Up and in underneath the basket. Xavier Tillman gets it to go. 41-31. Got some scoring going on in the last few minutes here. Michigan State's finally getting baskets. The problem is they're down by 10. Michigan now with the ball. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. Xavier Simpson with the ball, puts it into the hands of Charles Matthews now. Matthews dribbles towards that top of the key for the Wolverines. Right wing of the perimeter, Matthews tries to take on the defender inside. Step back jumper inside the key, no good. Rebounded by Kenny Goins of Michigan State. Winston has the ball, takes it past the right side of the timeline. Top of the key for Winston. 14:45 left to go. Winston passes it inside, laying it up and in. Matt McQuaid sends it home off the backboard. And the foul as well. Big shot right there by the Spartans to get back in this one. 14:44 left to go. When we do get back to action, we'll be back to action after this TV timeout. Matt McQuaid at the free throw line. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and the subscribe button down below as well. So let's see right now, just updating you guys with the game. The leading scorer right now for the Michigan Wolverines, 17 points currently at this stage of the game by Iggy Brazdeikis. Three rebounds as well by Iggy. He's leading the scoring for Michigan. Michigan State, their leading scorer. Matt McQuaid, he has 14 points. He just had the big shot that he laid it up and in into the basket. He just got fouled as well. So Matt McQuaid will go to the free throw line to shoot his and one when we do get back from break. We have 14:44 left to go. When we do get back to action, we are currently on a commercial break. 8-point lead by Michigan. We'll update you guys in the American Conference Championship going on right now. 11:45 left to go remaining in that game. Cincinnati with a 5-point lead against Houston. 43-38 is the score of that one. These two games are the final games before Selection Sunday. Feel free to join me for the Selection Sunday show, as well as I'll be doing live reactions to the Selection Sunday bracket that comes out when the bracket's announced about an hour and 10 minutes from now. But here we are, Michigan and Michigan State, 8-point game, and one of the biggest rivalries in all of college basketball inside the Big Ten tournament title. This is what it's about. Michigan State could not hit a single 2-point basket for like 12 minutes straight until they finally delivered in the past few minutes. They got back-to-back baskets inside the low post. They were just hitting 3-point shots from the outside. That's all that they were doing. But they had a big scoring drought that they just could not hit 2-point shots inside the arc. But we'll look to the team stats here. Michigan shooting the ball at 44% from the field. Michigan State shooting the ball at 35% from the field. The Spartans out-rebounding the Wolverines 23-20, but Iggy Brazdeikis from Michigan has done his job today. 17 points currently. Right now, only 3 points by Cassius Winston. If Michigan State wants to make a comeback in this game, they need Cassius to have a big game throughout the rest of the stretch here. He was the big player for Michigan State the past two games, had 18 points against Ohio State leading the way. He was the leading scorer against Wisconsin yesterday, 21 points. He also led the team in scoring against Michigan, the first game at Michigan where they beat them 77-70. Winston had 27 points. The last game against Michigan before this where they beat them 75-63. Winston had 23 points. Today he has been held to only 3 points, and Tom Izzo needs to get him more active in this game. John Beilein for the Michigan Wolverines trying to take him away from the scoring program. And the Michigan Wolverines have done a great job on defense in doing that. The and one from the free throw line. It went down from Matt McQuaid. 41-34. Michigan up by 7. They have the ball. They take it past the timeline with 14:38 left to go. Michigan with the ball. Top of the key here. This is Xavier Simpson. The left wing of the perimeter puts the ball into the hands of Isaiah Livers. Isaiah Livers with 21 bench points yesterday in the win against Minnesota. Ball almost went out of bounds. It gets stolen by Kenny Goins next to the baseline by Michigan State. Spartans with the ball. Good thing to see right there. Kyle Arns is on crutches as he's making his way to the bench. So that is really good. They released him from underneath the stadium tunnel. So it looks like he didn't make his way to the hospital. And the whole Michigan State fans and everybody in the crowd right now is on their feet applauding for Kyle Arns as he makes his way on crutches to the Michigan State bench to sit with his teammates. Michigan State with the ball underneath the basket, and they get fouled, and they'll go to the line for 2. So Aaron Henry will shoot 2 here at the free throw line. That is very good. That's a good sign for Michigan State right there. So Kyle Arns has made his way back on to the bench side with his teammates here from Michigan State as he's on crutches now. That's good to see that he returned with his teammates on the bench. At the free throw line, first shot goes down for Aaron Henry in Michigan State, 41-35. Just like the last game, Michigan the first time they played each other was the game at Michigan where Michigan State won that game 77-70. Michigan went cold shooting throughout like the late stretch of the second half. Here they are. It's a 6-point game. It was like a 13-point game earlier on. The 41-35, 6-point game here. Michigan with a ball. Second shot at the free throw line was no good by the Spartans. Wolverines now with the ball. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Iggy trying to work his way inside the low post, backing his way, working on Aaron Henry. Underneath the basket for Iggy. Puts up the shot. And no good. Rattles out. Rebounded by Nick Ward of Michigan State. Winston takes it past the timeline. He has it at the top of the key. Winston now slips with the ball, but gets it to his teammate, Goins. Goins passes it. McQuaid now to Henry now inside the low post with Nick Ward. Backing his way, guarded by Teskey. Ward at the baseline. Low post jumper, Ward. No good. Rattled out. Rebounded by Iggy of Michigan. Brazdeikis had the rebound. 41-35, 13-10 remaining. Michigan with the ball, left wing of the 3-point perimeter. This is Isaiah Livers who had it, and now it's into the hands of Jordan Poole. Right wing three, Poole. And he connects from the outside. Big three right there from Michigan's Jordan Poole. Back to a 9-point game. 44-35. Michigan State with the ball top of the key. Cassius Winston. Winston now right wing of the perimeter. Passes it left corner three. That's open. Matt McQuaid. Swoosh. 44-38. Matt McQuaid showed up today to shoot some three-point shots, guys. 12:35 left remaining in this one. We're going to have a great game down the stretch looking like. 44-38, Michigan with the ball. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button down below and the subscribe button as well. 18 points today by Matt McQuaid. He's usually not one of the key components inside this Michigan State team as far as leading the scoring. He averages 9.5 points per game, but Matt McQuaid showed up today with 18 points, shooting the ball terrific from the outside and getting some love from his teammate Kyle Arns right now, who's back on the sideline with the Michigan State team as he's on the bench as he went to courtside as he's on crutches now as he had a devastating injury with his left knee. It looked like he went down trying to rebound the ball in the first half. Michigan with the ball back on the inbounds. Jordan Poole, top of the key three, deep three. It gets tipped up in the air. Michigan saves it, but the ball goes into the hands of Winston. Winston here almost had a chance for the fast break. Willie lays it up and in, and he makes a tumble next to the cheerleading section right there. He gets fouled as well with 12:08 left to go. What a comeback here by the Spartans. 44-40 is the score. Cassius Winston finally putting some points on the board here for Michigan State. So he has 5 points currently in this game. He's the leading scorer. Let's see if he can get to 6. We have 12:08 left to go in this game. Make it a 3-point game, which he does as he hits that and one at the free throw line. 44-41. Hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well if you're new to the channel. Michigan with the ball. Close game. 3 points between the two of them. 15-5 run for the Spartans in the last 5 minutes in this one. Top of the key here for the Wolverines. Xavier Simpson passes the ball right wing to Eli Brooks. Working his way in baseline. He dribbles back outside of the perimeter. 4 on the shot clock for Brooks, trying to dribble underneath the basket. Fakes out a teammate, goes up and in right there. Uses the backboard for support as he banks that shot home. Eli Brooks with 2. 46-41. Michigan State with the ball. Left wing of the perimeter. Takes the jumper. Aaron Henry, no good. Offensive rebound on the play right there. And a foul called from behind by Michigan. Huge rebound by Xavier Tillman. As we have a stoppage in time. TV timeout on the floor. Going to update you guys with the score. Great game here between these two teams. Michigan State's really made a comeback the past few minutes. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. We're currently on a TV timeout between both of these teams. 46-41, 5-point game with 11:38 left to go when we get back into this one. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to my channel as I do play-by-play of college basketball games. Getting you guys updated on the American Conference Tournament Final. Cincinnati playing against Houston right now, and looks like Cincinnati's on top. 8.5 left to play. The Bearcats are up 50-40 against the Houston Cougars currently in that game. So those are the only 2 games currently going on at the moment, is Cincinnati against Houston and Michigan against Michigan State. Good to see that Kyle Arns finally is back courtside with his teammates as he went from underneath the tunnel as he was on a stretcher, put into the medical room, and then he went back with crutches next to his teammates. So good to see. And he got a standing applause by the whole crowd at the arena. So good to see that for Kyle Arns. He went down with a devastating injury in the first half for Michigan State. Let's see the leading scores for both of these teams. Michigan is now starting to shoot cold in this game. We've seen that. It was the same resemblance basically from the first time I covered both of these teams. It was the game at Michigan where they lost 77-70 against Michigan State back on February 24th. As Michigan, around 10.5 minutes remaining in that game, really, really shot the ball cold from the field towards the end of the game. I think they were up like 53-46 against Michigan State, and then they just stopped scoring for like 5 or 6 minutes in a row and lost by 7. But here we are, Michigan with a 5-point lead. From the field, the Wolverines are shooting 44%. The Spartans are shooting 37%. And from behind the arc, they're both tied, 7 for 17 shooting the ball from behind the arc. Matt McQuaid has really showed up today from Michigan State. 18 points, 5 for 10 shooting from behind the arc. Matt McQuaid right now keeping Michigan State in the game. Cassius Winston with 6 points. He's had 20-something points in the past couple of games. Usually, he had 18 points against Ohio State, had 21 in the other game, but both of the games against Michigan, Winston had 27 points in the first game and 23 in the second game. Yeah, I'm going to check that count as well, the offensive rebounds on that, Ed. So Michigan State, Michigan State's climbed back in this game with second chance points right now. 9 offensive rebounds compared to Michigan's 3 at this stage of the game. But on the defensive side, Michigan is out-rebounding the Spartans 19-17. That's what's been going down here. We're going to get back to action here. Michigan State and Michigan, 46-41. Wolverines with a 5-point lead. 11:23 left to go. Hit that like button and the subscribe button, as well as if you're new to my channel, as I do play-by-play of college basketball games. Cassius Winston with the ball. Left wing of the perimeter here from Michigan State. Top of the key 3 by the Spartans. No good from the outside. Rebounded by Xavier Simpson of Michigan. They take it past the timeline. Left wing of the 3-point perimeter here for the point guard Simpson. 46-41. 5-point lead by the Wolverines. Right wing of that 3-point perimeter. Simpson feeds the ball off to Livers. And now it's to Iggy Brazdeikis of Michigan. Brazdeikis with 17 points. Top of the key 3 by Iggy. No good. Hit the top part of the iron. Rebounded by Michigan State. 10:45 left to go. Spartans with the ball down by 5. 46-41. Top of the key with Cassius Winston. Winston dribbling towards the right wing of the perimeter. Floats the ball to the left corner. McQuaid, nothing but net right there. What a game by this kid. 21 points. Delivering from the outside by Matt McQuaid. Shooting the ball 6 for 11 from the 3-point arc in this game. Going to update you guys with the score here in the chat. 10:21 left to go. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below. John Beeline calling a timeout. 46-44. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. We got ourselves a ball game here. 2-point game. Michigan State's climbed back in it. 2 leading scorers for both of these teams. Matt McQuaid. What a game he's had today for the Michigan State Spartans. Iggy Brazdeikis on the other side. Iggy with 17 points right now. Jordan Poole with 10 for Michigan. For Michigan State, Matt McQuaid with 21, shooting 6 for 11 from behind the arc. This is March basketball at its finest, and we got ourselves an upset brewing in the American Tournament Final. Cincinnati has a 13-point lead against Houston, 55-42. So I wasn't even expecting that one right now, but maybe that's what can happen when fatigue takes a toll on you when you play 3 games in 3 straight days, as maybe that's what appears to have happened to the Houston Cougars today, as they're down by 13 points with 6 minutes left to go against Cincinnati. So that's the other game going on right now. Feel free to hit that like button down below, the subscribe button, as well as I do play-by-play calls of college basketball games. I'll be doing this into the March Madness tournament, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So here we are, TV timeout, 2-point game between both of these teams. Matt McQuaid, a machine from the outside. Gets fed the ball at the left corner. Hits down the 3-point shot. One after another. This Michigan State team will look dangerous in the tournament. They'll look even more dangerous if they can pull off the W here. They could possibly be a 1 seed if they win this game. If they do so, they'd have a record of 14-3 against teams in Quadrant 1 action this season. That's Quadrant 1 is teams inside the top 50. They should be able, in my opinion, to jump Gonzaga. Gonzaga has a record of 4-3 against Quadrant 1 wins. The only win that really sticks out is the win against Duke, all the way back in non-conference action in November, where Gonzaga beat them 89-87. Duke was basically getting started. They were a young team with all freshmen. Look at them now, as they were ACC title champions yesterday. But from the outside, just a moment ago, Matt McQuaid, a machine. Cassius Winston feeds him the ball from the right wing, passes it all the way to the left corner of the perimeter, catch and shoot from McQuaid, knocks it down. 46-44, we're going to get back to action in a few seconds here. 2-point game, Michigan with a 2-point lead. 12 points in the second half by Matt McQuaid of Michigan State. He's one of the top 3-point shooters in the Big Ten Conference. So here we are back to action. Michigan will get the ball here on the inbound. We have 10:21 left to go. The ball goes into the hands of Xavier Simpson. Here we are. Back to action. Left wing of the 3-point perimeter for Michigan. Isaiah Livers puts it into the hands of Teske. Teske, left wing perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Simpson. Simpson now, left elbow, dribbles back to the left wing. Right wing three from the outside. Isaiah Livers, no good. And the ball goes out of bounds right there. That was like an air ball in the play with 10:03 left to go. So it was more of a pass to Teske. Kind of looked like a shoot and pass, a little bit too high for Teske. Teske's a tall player, he's 7'1", but that ball went out of bounds as Livers tried to feed it off to Teske. Top of the key three, Winston, no good. Rebounded by Teske of Michigan. Still a 2-point game, 46-44, under 10 remaining. Michigan with the ball, top of the key here with Simpson. Passes it, Iggy trying to dribble baseline. He has a bunch of points today. Feeds the ball down low to Teske. Oh, and right there he slam dunked it, but he slam dunked the ball. It hit the top of the iron, but it bounced off the top of the rim and went into the net. 48-44. How many times often do you see somebody miss a slam dunk and it still goes into the net because it goes off the top of the rim and bounces in on the second chance? Michigan State tried to dribble inside. Teske says no. He takes that ball right away from him. Steal by Michigan. 48-44. Iggy with the ball. 4-point lead by the Wolverines. Brazdakis passes it off now to Xavier Simpson. Left wing of the perimeter here for Simpson. Simpson dribbles to that right wing of the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Brazdakis. Brazdakis puts that one into the hands of Livers. Isaiah Livers, right wing of the perimeter, looking for the 3-point shot, but instead he passes it off. Jumper in the key, no. Right there, Xavier Simpson's denied. We got ourselves a foul on the play with 8:42 left to go. Getting more intense after each and every play here on the court between these two teams, in-state rivals for the Big Ten Conference Tournament Final. 48-44, 8:42 left to play. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Michigan State will get the ball here on the inbound. Cassius Winston has the ball. He takes it past the half-court line. Winston dribbles left wing of the 3-point perimeter here for the Spartans. Now to the right wing. Passes it off. Top of the key. And that pass is stolen away by Michigan. Iggy with the ball. Takes it past the timeline here. Brazdakis. Top of the key three. No good from the outside. Rebounded by Kenny Goins of Michigan State. Matt McQuaid with the ball, puts it into the hands of Winston. Cassius Winston dribbles towards the right wing of the perimeter here. 8:10 remaining. Winston trying to work his way inside. Passes it underneath the basket, up and in off the backboard, and add one to it as he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. Xavier Tillman underneath the basket, banks it home for the Spartans. He has the chance for a 3-point play here from Michigan State. It's a 2-point game. Michigan with a 48-46 lead. We have 8:07 left to go in regulation. Here we are at the free throw line. Xavier Tillman, no good. He missed that shot at the charity stripe. It gets rebounded by Michigan. 2-point game. 48-46. 8 minutes left. Xavier Simpson with the ball. He passes it off. Charles Matthews at the left wing of the perimeter now. Matthews passes that one off. Back to Simpson. Simpson now feeds it baseline left side to Isaiah Livers. Livers jumper baseline. No good off the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Xavier Tillman of Michigan State. 48-46. Spartans with the ball down by 2. Hit the like button if you like down below and the subscribe button as well. Here we are working low post. They kick it back outside. Michigan State with the ball. They're down by 2. Cassius Winston, left wing of the 3-point perimeter. He has the ball now for the Spartans. 7:25 left to go. Winston dribbling towards the top of the key. 6 on the shot clock. Makes his move with 5. Trying to go inside. Winston laying it up, and then we got ourselves a tie ball game. 48 apiece here between the two Michigans. What a game. 7:10 left to go. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Here we go. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. 7 minutes remaining. This is Big Ten basketball at its finest. Michigan with a ball in the key. They pass the ball back outside. What a game here. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. Jordan Poole has it at the top of the key for the Wolverines. Deep three, Poole. Oh, he almost hit it, but it was no good. He tried to bank it off the backboard, but the rim wouldn't take it in. Rebounded by Winston of Michigan State. 48 even. 6:35 left to go. Winston with the ball for the Spartans. Dribbles towards the left wing of the perimeter here. 6.5 remaining. Right wing now. Winston passes. Passes it off to Kenny Goins. Back to Winston. Winston tries to work his way inside. Floats it up. No good. Offensive rebound, though, by his teammate. Kicks the ball back outside, and we got ourselves a foul on the play with 6:18 left to go. Wow, what a game between both of these teams. Even. 48 apiece. Michigan and Michigan State. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button. Down below, hit the subscribe button as well. I call play-by-play of college basketball games, so stay in the know here throughout the March Madness tournament as well. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Just updated you guys with a score in the chat. Let's go over the leading scores here. Michigan State leading the way. Matt McQuaid, he's a three-point machine tonight. 6 for 11, shooting the ball from behind the arc. He's leading the way for the Michigan Spartans. Cassius Winston, second on the team in scoring, but he only has 8 points, but he's making it up right now with assists on the court. 9 assists so far in this game, and this one's not done yet. Michigan, the leading scorer, Iggy Brazdakis has 17 for the Wolverines, 10 points. Chipping in is Jordan Poole. We got ourselves a ball game here between both of these teams. And once again, Michigan's having trouble the past few minutes making shots. Basically the same resemblance as that game the first time around against Michigan State. They were having trouble from the floor shooting the ball. They were stone cold around like the halfway point in the second half, and that's why they lost that game against Michigan State the first time at home, 77-70, because towards the end of that they got stone cold. They need to start hitting open shots. They haven't made some good looks at the floor the past few minutes in this one, so that's where we have this tie game coming into place. And Michigan's shooting percentage a few minutes ago was around like 43-44%. That has dropped now to 40.5% from the floor. But here we are with both of these teams. This looks like it's going to be quite the finish. Tied up at 48. Under 7 minutes left to go when we do get back to action. Going to give you guys an update here of the other game going on, the American Conference Tournament Final. Cincinnati is beating Houston 63-50 with 4 minutes left to go in that game. So that's even a shocker to me. I think that Houston still can make a deep run into the tournament. But Cincinnati, shocker here. On any given day, basically any team can win on the court in a tournament final, and looks like Cincinnati came to play. Maybe fatigue for Houston or so, because they played Memphis really, really close. They down the stretch against Memphis yesterday, Houston got a little bit tired. So we'll see with days of rest added into the tournament. I think Houston can still make a long run into the tournament because they're not playing back-to-back days, whereas they get their one-day rest there. That might be the problem today, is maybe they've run out of gas in their American Conference tournament. But here we are, 6:18 left to go. We have ourselves a tie game between Michigan and Michigan State. What a game here. As the Wolverines have only committed 7 turnovers in the past 2 games leading up to this against Iowa and Minnesota. They've done well in that phase again today. They've only turned over the ball 5 times. That's what Michigan does really well throughout this entire season. They ranked second in all of college basketball in fewest turnovers per game behind Virginia. What Michigan State does well, they do really, really well, is assist per game, as they average about 19 assists per game. As right now, today, they have 12 on their team. Cassius Winston has 9. Left wing 3 from the outside. We're back to action. McQuaid misses it. Rebounded by Michigan. 6:10 remaining. Michigan with the ball. Oh, nice pass inside, and the slam dunk by Brazdakis. 50-48. Michigan out in front again, up by 2. 6 minutes left to go. We're going to be in a fight to the finish here. Left wing of the perimeter by Cassius Winston. If you haven't liked the channel so far, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down below. Winston now with the ball. Dribbling towards that free throw circle, passes it off to Goins. Goins back to Winston. Top of the key here for Winston, dribbling left wing of the perimeter. Now the float over the top, backing his way inside. Spin move. Tillman, jumper. No, good off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Michigan. 5:35 left to play in this game. 50-48 is the score. Michigan and the Wolverines are up by 2. They have the ball as well there at the top of the key. Nice pass, up and in, a lob pass right to the basket of John Teskey. Sends it home with 5:15 left remaining. 4-point lead by Michigan. Tom Izzo calls a timeout on the floor. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Hit that like button down below in the chat. Hit the subscribe button as well. 52 is the score for Michigan. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, as I do play-by-play and live reaction to college basketball games. So stay in the know here with my channel. Just updating that score for you guys right now. When we do get back to action, we'll have 5:16 remaining. As that's the score, 52-48 currently. I think I added in a 54. That's why when I was typing it in by accident. So it is 52-48 is the score with 5:16 left to go. But if I do have it ahead of you, maybe it's the network or so that you're on, because I'm from Massachusetts. I'm close to Rhode Island though, so I'm getting this off the CBS affiliate in Providence where I'm watching it. So maybe some of the stations are behind how they joined into the network or so. But the score right now, 52-48 is the score. We have 5:16 left to go. And what a play right there. Nice pass underneath the basket to John Teskey, and he put it up and in into the net. So if you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Xavier Simpson, right now, 29 assists total in the Big Ten tournament. I believe that's a tie for the record. Matt McQuaid with the ball at the top of the key, just got tipped out of bounds. Yep, that's what I'll be doing next. So after this game's finished, I scheduled a video in there for the Selection Sunday live reaction. So I'll be doing that right after this one. So anybody who likes to, feel free to join me for the Selection Sunday live reaction show of what teams get chosen into the tournament. I'll be doing that one as well. Here we are back to action. Michigan State with the ball, top of the key with it. This is Aaron Henry, who puts the ball into the hands of Cassius Winston, and he almost gets stolen with the ball, but it looks like a reach-in by Michigan, and they cannot believe that it was a reach-in on the court. John Teskey was trying to steal the ball from Cassius Winston. Winston lost control of it, but Teskey reached in on the play. So Michigan State will be at the free throw line for the 1-and-1 by Cassius Winston. He's an 84% free throw shooter this season. 5 minutes even left to play. Winston at the free throw line. 1-and-1 opportunity. Knocks down the first one. 52-49. 3-point game here. Spartans down by 3. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play of college basketball games as he hit them both down. Winston at the free throw line. 2-point game. 52-50. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing more games in the tournament as well. Whatever games most likely end up on CBS, I'll be doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. So tons more college basketball action. Top of the key three, Iggy Brazdeikis. No good. Rebound by Winston. Nice rebound right there with 4:40 left. Winston takes it past the right side of the timeline. Now at the free throw circle. Floats up the shot in the key. No good by Winston. Offensive rebound, though, by Michigan State. And they turn it over. A steal as he threw it to the wrong player. And a foul. Michigan trying to go inside on the fast break opportunity, and a foul called. And at the free throw line will be Jordan Poole from Michigan. He slammed pretty down hard into that right there, that net, right, the net board right after the baseline right there. So I'm going to update you guys on the score. Yeah, he went awkward. His knee went really, really awkward. Jordan Poole's did right into the SoFi net board right underneath the net, whatever holds up the net. Yeah, I really think that Gonzaga is going to be a 2 seed in my opinion. Gonzaga right now has a 4-3 record against top 50 teams. If Michigan State wins, they should be worthy of that 1 seed here because if they beat Michigan here, Michigan State would have a record of 14-3 against teams in the top 50, whereas Gonzaga would have a record of 4-3. And Gonzaga plays a much easier schedule, as one shot at the free throw line went down from Michigan, the other one didn't. Michigan State got the rebound. 4:20 left remaining in this game. Spartans with the ball, left wing of the perimeter. Cassius Winston. Winston, top of the key, dribbling. They're down by 3. Passes the ball over at the right wing of the perimeter. Back to Winston here. 4 minutes left to play. Winston trying to go inside. 5 on the shot clock. Winston gets behind the defender and hits it home right there off the backboard. 1-point game, 53-52. 3:50 remaining. What a game between both of these teams. Right wing of the perimeter, they pass it underneath the basket and a foul called, and Jordan Poole will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Wolverines. I'm going to update you guys here on the score. What a game between both of these teams right now. 53-52. The score, Cassius Winston going inside, getting the basket. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button and the subscribe button down below. 4.5 basically left in this game. 4:26 when we do get back to action. Michigan will shoot 2 at the line with Jordan Poole. So here we are between teams that will make it into the tournament and teams that will not. It's all down to this, ESPN says. North Carolina State on the line of the first 4 out. They have a record of 22-11, 9-9 in the ACC. Will it be enough, or will TCU sneak in with a conference record of 7-11 in the Big 12? North Carolina State with 22 wins. You'd think that they'd be able to get into the tournament since they play in the ACC, but North Carolina State also played against the easiest non-conference schedule in all of college basketball, 353 out of 353 teams. As NC State, it really didn't make sense for them to schedule teams like the Maine Black Bears, Mount St. Mary's, St. Peter's University, because in the long run, it might have come back to haunt them. Yeah, Purdue right now, I'm not feeling them in the tournament at all. They cannot win games either on the road or at a neutral court. When they lost against Minnesota, that's what basically resulted in Purdue. Purdue cannot win games on the road or at a neutral court. I think depending on the matchup, Purdue might be out first round. That's what I think, because basically they rely on one player for their roster. That's Carson Edwards. If Carson Edwards cannot score that day and hit shots, the guy who averages like 24 points per game, well, that team is going to be in trouble. And Yale, if they do get Yale as a 14 seed, I think, let's see here what their record is. Yale has a record of 22-7. It's going to be interesting here. I know, I think it was like 2014 or so, Princeton beat Kentucky in the March Madness tournament first round, and I think their seedings were kind of similar. Right there, Yale could get the upset against Purdue if that's the matchup they get. I'm feeling that one. I'm seeing what Yale did this season. Let's see. Yale beat Miami. So they beat an ACC school. I know Miami was in the back half or so. They lost by 7 to Memphis, 109-102. Yale can really score points as well in there. So we'll see what goes on in the tournament. But this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below, the subscribe button as well, as I do play-by-play to college basketball games. And I'll be doing this into the March Madness tournament as well. So make sure to join me for my Selection Sunday show. I'll do live reactions of that in there. But yeah, what a game here between both of these teams. 53-52. When we do get back to action, we'll have 3:43 left to go on the clock. Yep, so 3:43 left to go on the clock between these two teams. 53 Michigan, 52 Michigan State. Also at the free throw line is Jordan Poole here. So at the free throw line here for Michigan, first shot. And they hit that one, 54-52. Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the update. So let's see that score between Cincinnati and Houston. Wow. So Cincinnati beat Houston today in the American title game, 69-57. As both of the shots from the free throw line went down for Michigan. They have a 55-52 lead. Spartans with the ball down by 3. 3:35 left to go. They're dribbling inside with Cassius Winston. They back it out towards the left wing of the three-point perimeter. Winston now dribbles towards that top of the key. Step back three. Winston, no good from the outside. And the ball on the baseline. It's rebounded by Michigan. Huge rebound by Jordan Poole. As the Wolverines have the ball. 3:10 left to go. 55 Michigan. Michigan State 52. Simpson going low post, and he lays it up and in right there. Big shot by Xavier Simpson as they have a 5-point lead here for the Wolverines. 57-52. Michigan State now with the ball at the top of the key. Cassius Winston. Left wing of the three-point perimeter. Under 3 minutes left to play. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button down below and the subscribe button as well. Winston puts it into the hands of McQuaid, and McQuaid right there. There's a foul on the play. I think McQuaid was fouled with 2:45 remaining as he tried to go up for the three-point shot. He went for the ball fake right there, and Jordan Poole fell for it. And McQuaid will be going to the free throw line for 3 shots here by Michigan State. So Matt McQuaid is an 84% free throw shooter. He has a chance to make this a 2-point game if he hits all of them. 3 shots at the free throw line by Matt McQuaid of Michigan State. First shot goes down. 57-53. What a great stroke from the free throw line on that camera view right there by Matt McQuaid. Second shot, nothing but net. Same thing over and over by Matt McQuaid, and what a game he has had. 23 points by Matt McQuaid today. 12 points by Cassius Winston. Here's Matt McQuaid again at the free throw line. Make it 24 right there. 57-55, hit all of them. 2-point game, guys. With 2:40 remaining, this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe button as well to my channel. Top of the key here for the Wolverines to the left wing of the perimeter. Xavier Simpson. Now he passes it. Left wing 3 from the outside. And that's a huge shot by Isaiah Livers. Delivering with a 3-pointer from the left wing. 60-55. 5-point lead by Michigan. 2:20 left to go. Winston with the ball. Down by 5 for the Spartans. At the right wing of the perimeter, they put the ball into the hands of McQuaid, back into the hands of Winston. 2:10 left to go. Winston now, top of the key, dribbling. Winston passes it, left wing 3, McQuaid. Oh, what a shot by Matt McQuaid. What a game here. Huge 3-pointer from deep outside. He has 27 points. And a timeout called on the floor with 2:01 left to go. We got ourselves a ball game, 60-58. Matt McQuaid, man, this is unreal. Not even, I think he averages about 8 points per game currently right now from the outside, doing everything. What a great stroke here in this game. So I'm going to update you guys on the score once again. We have a timeout called on the floor. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button and subscribe button down below. Matt McQuaid shooting the ball 7 for 13 currently in this one from behind the arc, 8 for 15 from the field. He's the leading scorer for the Spartans. Second on the team in scoring, Cassius Winston. He has a double-double, though. 12 points, 10 assists right now for Winston. Yeah, he's a really, really good 3-point shooter. I think he's top 5 in the Big Ten in 3-point shooting this season for Matt McQuaid. He's had a bunch of games there with like single digits, but here we are. Matt McQuaid with a clutch shot down the stretch. Michigan is up by 2, 60-58. We have 2:01 left to go. Here we are back to action, guys. 2 minutes left remaining. Michigan with the ball. They take it past the timeline. The Wolverines with a 2-point lead. As Michigan, they have the ball at the right elbow, and now they dribble outside the perimeter. This is Xavier Simpson with the ball. Simpson now trying to make his move inside to kick it back outside. Left wing three. No good. Hit the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Kenny Goins. 60-58. We have a minute and a half remaining. I think so that they're the top free throw shooting team. I'll see if I can look that up, as Michigan State with the ball and underneath the basket they tie things up. Xavier Tillman down in the low post. We're tied up at 60, everybody. A minute and 10 left to go. Time out on the floor. 60 apiece. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. What a game here between both of these teams. 60 even right now. Oh, man. Gonna check that stat for you guys since we're on commercial break. So right now we're on a TV timeout. I'll be doing plenty more games in the March Madness tournament, so stay in the know here with my channel. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I said before, I thought Michigan State would be able to win this game, but yeah, I thought this was close. This would be coming right down to like the final shot or so. Both of these teams, though right now, by the looks of it in the tournament, have been so even. If let's see, I'm gonna look at that free throw shooting percentage. We're tied up at 60, guys. So, yep, Michigan State's the best team in the Big Ten in free throw shooting percentage right now. They're shooting the ball at 75% from the charity stripe. Number 2 is Maryland. Michigan ranks at free throw shooting percentage. They're tied for 8th with Nebraska right now at 69.5%. So this game might come down to free throws down the stretch. We'll see. It might come down to big shots as well. Matt McQuaid has had a bunch of them so far in this game. McQuaid responsible for 27 points today, 7 for 13 from the field from three-point range. We got ourselves a ball game, 60 apiece. Michigan State. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Thank you all for joining me in here in this video. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as well. Oh, man, 4 ties, 4 lead changes. The biggest lead has been 13 points so far by Michigan. But here's the Spartans as they've crawled right back in this as we're tied up at 60. Michigan with an inbound here. Minute and 5 left to go. The Wolverines with the ball. Right wing of the perimeter to Iggy Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis passes it left wing to Livers. Back to Brazdeikis here. Brazdeikis feeds it inside. Teskey back outside. Right corner 3. Simpson. No good. And the ball gets tipped out of bounds. The ref says it will be Michigan State ball with 51.5 seconds left. John Teskey, the ball went off his fingertips. He was trying to rebound it, and Matt McQuaid knew that it went on a bounce, and he didn't try to touch it. Winston now with the ball. We're tied up at 60. What a game here between both of these teams. Winston at the free throw circle. 60 even, 35 seconds left to go. 12 on the shot clock, 33 left on the game clock. Winston trying to go inside, and he gets the bucket with 29.1 seconds left. 62-60, 2-point lead by the Spartans. Michigan now with the ball. What a game here. Right wing of the perimeter, Brazdeikis, top of the key, 17 seconds. Trying to take it inside the key, floats it up. No good. Ball goes out of bounds, and Michigan State last touched it, I believe. So Michigan will get the ball in the inbound with 13 seconds remaining. Hit that like button, guys, down below, and the subscribe button as well. As I do play-by-play of college basketball games, I'll be doing this into the tournament, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. This is a big call here of who tipped the ball out of bounds. The ref said that it was out of bounds by the Spartans here. So Michigan will get the inbound if the refs do say that's the case. Michigan State trying to plead their case. They're at the review stand here. What a game between both of these teams. 13 seconds left when we do get back to action. This is a big, big call for the refs here. So they're reviewing what went on the last play. Just updated the score for you guys. 62-60 Spartans back in front. Michigan had the largest lead of the game. They were up by 13 points at one time, and Michigan State came on crawling back, and right now they are up by 2 with 13 seconds left. Make sure to smash that like button down below. Subscribe to my channel. And I'll be doing the Selection Sunday live reaction show as well. So join me there for my channel. Here we are. 13 seconds left. This is a huge call by the refs. The shot inside the key by Iggy Brasdeikis, and it's about who touched it last with 13 seconds left. Was it a yellow jersey or was it a white jersey? That's what we're trying to see here on the replay. One replay looks like it was out of bounds by John Teskey. The other looks like it was out of bounds by Xavier Tillman. This is a huge call by the referees as they go up to Gene Steratore in the rules booth to see who will get the ball here, as they have to look at it in New York. Man. It looked like on that replay in the very slow motion, it looked like John Teskey's fingertips was on the ball for Michigan and not Xavier Tillman's. That's what it looked like with 13.3 seconds left. From the replay that I'm seeing, it looks like Michigan State will get back the ball. So that's what it looks like. 13.3 seconds remaining here, and the Spartans will get back the ball. So that's what the refs roll here. 13 seconds left. Hit that like button down below. A 7-0 run by Michigan State in the last minute and 48 has propelled them to out in front. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I do play-by-play of college basketball games. Big Ten championship at its finest. The last 13.3 seconds left, as it looks like it'll be Spartans ball. Aaron Henry will get the inbound. Here we are. Michigan State will get the ball. 62-60. Spartans up by 2. Tom Izzo's squad with the ball, looking to inbound it, and a timeout called. So Izzo will take a timeout with 13.3 seconds left. Thank you so much, guys. Hit that like button down below and the subscribe button if you're new to the channel as well. Oh my goodness, what a game here. This is for the Big Ten title game. This is the last game before the announcement of the 68 teams that go into the March Madness tournament. Here we are between a number 1 seed, possibly Michigan State, playing for that number 1 seed, trying to bounce out Gonzaga and put them on the 2 line if they win. To me, if they do so, if Michigan State wins this game, I think that Michigan State should be able to get that 1 seed. For Quadrant 1 wins this season, Michigan State has a 14-3 record against top 50 teams. Gonzaga has a record of 4-3 against the top 50. Gonzaga also plays in the WCC, whereas Michigan State plays a much tougher schedule in the Big Ten. Here we are with a timeout. We're going to get back to action after this Tom Izzo timeout here with 13.3 seconds left. What a ball game between both of these teams. I've called games this season with buzzer beaters that's gone into overtime. This might be one of them again. Wow, this is insane. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button as well. Let's try to get us to 10 likes for this game right here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I do play-by-play of college basketball games. I'll be doing much more games throughout the March Madness tournament. Also doing a live stream later today, about a half an hour from now, after the conclusion of this game, with the Selection Sunday bracket announcement. Here we are, going to get back to action. Michigan State will get the inbound. 13.3 seconds left. Trying to find somebody who's open. And they do. They pass the ball, and a foul call with 12.8 seconds. Going to update you guys with the score here in the chat once again. So Michigan State will be going to the free throw line to shoot some free throws. And that's what they've been doing great all season long. Ranked first in the conference in free throw shooting percentage this season at 75%. Number 1 in the Big Ten. They're here with Aaron Henry, though. Aaron Henry's a 67% free throw shooter. The best free throw shooting team in the Big Ten, the Michigan State Spartans, with Aaron Henry, who's only a 67% free throw shooter at the charity stripe. We have 12.8 seconds remaining. Here's Henry at the line for the 1-and-1. First shot. And goes in right there. Bounced off the bottom part of the rim to the backboard and went into the net. 63-60. That was a huge shot by Henry. Let's see here. Second shot, no good off the iron. Rebounded by Michigan. And looks like a foul to give with 9 seconds remaining there on the play. So here we are. Going to update you guys once again. The score, 9 seconds left to go in this game. 63-60. the 60 Spartans with a 3-point lead. A number 1 seed in the tournament possibly on the line. We'll find out about 30 to 40 minutes from now in the selection show, most likely. If Michigan State, if they do come out with a W here, will they be able to bounce Gonzaga from the 1 line? Michigan will get the ball back on the inbound. It's a 3-point game. They do. They have the ball into the hands of Jordan Poole. 3-point shot. They airball it. Rebounded by the Spartans. They haven't followed yet, and they do with 2.3. Looks like Michigan State is getting a little closer here from pulling out the W. If they do hit a free throw at the free throw line, it looks like they might have done it anyway. An air ball when the game mattered most by Jordan Poole of Michigan. Wow. 2 shots at the line as well for Michigan State. 2.3 seconds remaining. Very, very bad shot selection there by Jordan Poole. 63-60. Here they are at the free throw line. First shot, and it goes in by Kenny Goins. It's a 2-score game. What a comeback by Michigan State. They were down by 13 in this game. Make it 65-60. It looks like the Big Ten title has gone to the Spartans as the ball goes out of bounds with 0.9 on the inbound as they try to go for the cross-court pass by Michigan. Looks like this one is done here. We got 0.9 seconds remaining from calling this final for Michigan State. What a game. As all they have to do is inbound. A crushing defeat for Michigan in the Big Ten tournament title. They were up by 13 today. We have looks like the refs put a little bit of time back on the clock. So I did report that it was 0.9 on the clock, but it looks like they chucked it out of bounds and it was still 2.3. So that's what I have right here. So it's not final yet. Just going to update you guys for the score. So almost final. 65 Michigan State, 60 Michigan. Make sure to hit that like button down below and the subscribe button as well, as I call play-by-play of college basketball games. I'll be doing many more games throughout the tournament. Make sure to join me for my selection show as well. I'll be doing a live reaction to the selection show coming up right after this. 2.3 seconds remaining. Looks like the Spartans will have this one in the can. And with that, we'll see if they'll be able to move up to that number 1 seed in the bracket. Upsets are aplenty come March Madness. There might be teams that are one and done in the tournament. We'll see who they are. But here we are, the Michigan State Spartans, with 2.3 seconds left to go, as the refs are back at the review table here, seeing how much time to put on the clock. I think that was the thing. So Michigan did try to throw a cross-court pass basically there to the other side of the court, and the ball went off the fingertips of Michigan and out of bounds. So I think the refs are just looking at how much time it's going to put back on the clock. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Everybody's been seeming like they've been enjoying my videos, so it's awesome. Hopefully I'll be able to get more people when the tournament comes, so I can't wait for that. But yeah, seems like everybody seems to enjoy my channel, so this has been awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are awesome here in the chat. Great job, everybody, today. I appreciate it. What a game here. Down by 13 points. Michigan State came back, and they're 2.3 seconds away from getting the W. Awesome job, guys. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. You guys are great. Selection Sunday live reaction show coming up after this. Join me for that. And Michigan State gets the inbound on the ball, and there we have it. The final score, Michigan State 65, Michigan 60. And all it comes down to is Selection Sunday, and we'll see if the Spartans have made it onto the number 1 line and have bounced Gonzaga off of that one. Or some people have been saying North Carolina might be a 2 now. I'm thinking possibly 3 ACC seeds and Michigan State in there. And Gonzaga gets bounced. We'll see what the selection committee comes up with. What a game here for the Spartans. Down by 13. Matt McQuaid, 27 points, 7 for 13 from the outside. shooting 3-ball shots from the left corner with a hand in his face all the time, draining 3-pointers left and right. The Michigan State Spartans had him, and they did it with a W. Michigan, the leading scorer today, Iggy Brazdeikis with 19, but it wasn't enough in this one as the Michigan State Spartans, led by the Big Ten Player of the Year, Cassius Winston, a double-double for Winston again today. Didn't have that many points as he usually has. He had 14 points, but he made up with it with 11 assists, and there you go. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me on the stream. Around 15 minutes from now, I'm going to start up that Selection Sunday stream with my live reaction. You guys did an awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Michigan State coming out victorious, 65-60. Before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. This has been another presentation of Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and make sure to join in for some more of my play-by-play for next week's tournament games. Thank you guys so much, and have a nice day.